Good evening, race fans, and welcome to BSTV. You've joined us for week 5 of the TCR Challenge Cup season 15. This is at Hockenheimring. You'll notice I didn't put the rest of the name of the track in because it's like Baden-Württemberg, something or other in German that I would only butcher like I just did and do it no service whatsoever. We're at National B, which I think has been something of a bit of a let down for some of the drivers, but they say that every week and then it turns into something brilliant. 34-degree track. I'm Pete Bingham and I'm joined in the booth by Sir Alan of Toon. Good evening.
Good evening, everybody. And yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. I like this place.
I do. I have driven this format of the track, I realised when I went round with somebody, and I drove it in a TCR, and I was terrible, Alan.
Well, I've driven it, and I think also in a TCR, but I found it to be really interesting.
Yeah, there's a few features of this track, so we will without further or any ados, we will have a look at what's going on in the league at the moment. There are obviously people out on track here. Let me go and do some of this business. Press buttons here and there. Right, new information on drivers at least. Pete Van Gool, he is in his Pete Van Gool privateer livery, but he has joined Result Clothing iRacing team, of which there is one just behind him there. I can't think who that is now. Is that Carl?
Oh.
No, it's not Carl.
No.
And therefore it has to be a Roger.
Well, they should be green.
Yeah,
they're
that's true.
cars.
Sorry, it was safeguard cars. Yeah, you'll keep me right because you're part of that fraternity. So, excellent stuff. Sorry, go on.
Well, he's in the result colour, the red and white. Well, he will be in the result. Is it going to be in safeguard?
He's going to be in result clothing, so he'll be in the green.
Right, so it'll be. Oh, well, that's going to be the red and white.
Yeah.
The result clothing.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, the safeguard is green.
Oh, Yes, it is. Sorry, that's Marcel Frick behind him. Oh,
yes,
dear.
It's the result.
I'm new to this. Right, we've got Ika Leiku, who has just joined the session. So we're up to 27 cars now, which is remarkable, really. Mark Draper's back with us from SRL Nixgen. Or Next Generation, I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be. But yeah, great to have him back in here. Obviously, previous champion in the TCR. David Johansson is here as well. Stephen Walker. Topping the charts at the moment is Wobbly Kneecaps in practice. But yes, we are here. Let's go through the standings very quickly because we've got some other things to do this evening. So, pro standings, let's have a look at that. Right, so Sam Blees leads the way, and he leads the way quite handsomely at the moment, it has to be said. 539 points, and a big drop now to David Johansson at 372, but it is David Johansson in second. He has split up those geodesic boys, Alan, and Spencer's in the third now.
Yeah, well, David's a very good driver, but it's just makes for very exciting racing, doesn't it? You know, it's close, it's tight, the quality of the drivers is top class, and there's no calling it.
No, there really isn't. And then rounding out the top 5, we've got Matt Elmore. It's flashy himself. And I'm stunned that he is where he is. He's done a fantastic job this season. And yeah, I mean, he could easily get into that top 3 tonight. He's only 6 points off Spencer McCarthy, who is here, by the way. You know, he's 20 points behind David Johansson. That's nothing in this league.
No. Well, it's in front of Miguel, which is, that takes some doing to be in front of Miguel. Yep. That's for sure.
It really does.
And Jamie as well. You know, these are outstanding drivers, all in their own right. Wobbly, Jamie, they're all fantastic drivers. If you're in front of any of them a lot, you're doing very well. And Matt is having an outstanding season, I think, really.
Very much so, yeah. And whilst we are on the left-hand column of points, total points, we need to keep one blurry eye on the right-hand column now, because next week we will be after next week we will move on to the top points with drop score. So just keep one eye open on that right-hand column, because you can see David Johansson there. He had a couple of bad rounds at the start, or he missed a round, I can't remember. And so he's only got 294 points. He's going to drop a little way down the league, and Miguel is going to float up the league. So just keep one eye open on that. There's a few movements going to come when we adjust that in a fortnight's time, but it'll take effect after next week.
Ooh, mathematics.
Mathematics. Oh, never my strong point. Nor is anything else, Alan. I mean, geez. So Tony Walker heads up the AM class of driver here, and this has been probably the tighter of the championships at the moment. 295 points for Tony. Left-hand column again. Keep your eye on the right one. Tom Woodcock in second, just 20 points behind, and then Roger Morton, who had a stellar time last time. He got driver of the meeting from both me and Alan, or Alan and I, which is the correct pronunciation of that sentence. And then he's on 180 points, so he's got a lot to do to get up there, but I think he's got it in him, Alan. I think he can take it to Tom and Tony.
Well, one thing's for sure, he'll be trying.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, Tony and Tom have had absolutely outstanding starts to the season, haven't they? I mean, we haven't seen the like of it. It's surprised us. I'm surprised it's surprised many people actually out there because they're doing so well. We're seeing top 10 finishes, top 5 finishes. It's just amazing driving by them. And Roger will be chasing hard, and Iker is a fantastic driver as well. You know, we've seen his pace, so it looks like there's a gap there, but like you say, there's drop scores, there's all kinds of happen. We don't know what's going to happen here. It's early days yet. It's early days yet, and it's just terribly exciting, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. And Iker is the only one brave enough to take on the Audi at the minute, and he's doing a great job with it. He's making it move for him. And Pete Van Gool there in fifth, who's just joined Result Clothing iRacing team, like I said. So he's going to be vying for those top spots. Let's have a look at the team, because we've got, we've got JB, Matt Flannery, Arnaud Chenonnier, Jason Haddington, and Owen Patterson rounding out your top 10 in the AM class. Standings.
Yes, and not easy to get in there. You know, I mean, crikey, it's a top 10 position in the end is starting to be kind of a fiercely contested thing already.
Well, we need to talk about the fiercely contested thing, which is this, Alan. It's the trophy. Whoever we hand this to, right, we're going to have a little briefing beforehand, because what they're going to have to do with it, because it is solid, 100% genuine plastic, they're going to have to hold it at arm's length towards whichever camera they've got to make it look bigger than it is. Because on there I've made it look massive, obviously. It's not. So they're going to have to hold it, so perspective takes them to a grander level with the trophy.
Well, I mean, just to actually be in the same room as it radiates its magnificence,
it's stunning, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely. It's just a thing to behold, and that's all I'm going to describe it as, a thing. Right, okay, let's find out where the driver of the meeting is. Driver of the meeting. Oh, we didn't do team, sorry. So Hydra Race, Geodesic Racing romping away at the moment. Spectre 6 need to up their game, as do Sim Racing Grid, and edge them out if they want to fight for that title. BSTV Esports Pink are in fourth. There is a trophy for this, by the way. It looks just like the other one, but it's bigger. I might take a photograph of that as well and make it look like it's the same size as my house or something. But anyway, and then BSTV Esports Pink in fourth place on 458, with Lurchus Academy in fifth. Right. Driver of the meeting, Roger Morton and Tony Walker are joint top at the moment, Alan.
Fierce competition, because they've both been putting outstanding performances, and it doesn't surprise me to see them there like that, because Roger's really been putting out the stops in the last couple of weeks. Last week he was outstanding, and the week before he pulled one as well, because he was absolutely brilliant there as well. So he's just having a real purple patch, but so is Tony.
Yeah,
and well earned votes by both of them.
Yeah, and then in joint third place is JB, Jay Corley, Andrew McKinley, Sam Blees, and that rounds out our point scoring people. We're fairly early on in the season at the moment, I suppose, so keep an eye on that. And also keep an eye on this, so Sir Alan's Safe Driver Award. He's at the top of the table. I mean, nobody's done enough to fully qualify for this yet. Where's my thingy? Where's my...
Please wait, mate. We're racing.
There it is. He's at the top at the moment. He's not done enough races, neither has anybody else, to be fair. Russell Cowell is the safest driver, apparently, so far. But the one with the most laps to their name at the moment is Jamie Wilson in that. So I think once this all flushes out, I think Jamie will be top dog. And he will be top dog before anybody else, because he's been in every race so far.
That's very interesting. And
Isn't it?
yeah, well, I mean, Jamie's great. You know, I'm a big fan of Jamie, so I'd be well happy to see if he could pull that as well, because I mean, he drives the wheels off his car.
He really does.
He does. So if he can actually pull the safe driver award as well, that would be something special.
Wouldn't it just? I mean, the certificates for all these other prizes. And then we've got Fiona, who's currently in 5th. I think that's technically 3rd, with Matt Flannery in 4th. Oh, yeah, I don't know how many. Yeah, he'll be in 3rd, won't he? Yeah, that's right, yeah. Oh, no, he'll be in 2nd. Oh, I'm just confused. And you can see everybody else's names on there. So we're going to go to the live broadcast now before Pete gets more confused than he already is as we watch.
Oh, look at that perfect timing. Look at that pirouette.
Stunning.
Lovely.
See that wheel coming back to just get him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
What's pit stop like here? I can't remember. Can you? No, we're gonna have to watch.
Let me think about it. No, it's got that funny right-hander off the. There's a sequence coming onto the straight, and you have to turn in sharply early.
Yeah.
It is a bit of a weird one, you know, because you're coming around that series of right-handers at the end of the lap, coming back onto the straight, and you have to turn off sharply there.
Yeah.
It is a bit of a tight one.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so before we we'll do a lap once we're in qualifying, because we've only got a minute left. And of course, this is a heat session, so drivers are going to get chinned out of the session. Hang on. Yeah, they're going to get chinned out of the session at 1 hour and 15 minutes, because that's the practice length, 75 minutes. And then they'll be in qualifying. Meantime, we've had some other community information. For those of you that watch regularly, at a point in history in the not too distant past, a chap called Craig Jones had a bit of a health scare. As I move the camera to show something completely different, because I'm just going to bore everybody to death if I show that, and everybody's in the pits at the minute waiting for the session to take over. And the result boys all pulled together in a fantastic way. Changed the paint on their cars, which I'll show you when we get into qualifying. And it's a good news story. It's his name's Craig Jones. He's in the booth with us now. We are live on air, Craig, so please do not swear. Welcome to the booth.
Hello, thank you for having me in.
Not at all. I don't know you, even though I know you're part of the Result Clothing fraternity and the iRacing community as well. Very much more Alan knows you, and I'll hand you over to Alan in a minute. But yeah, you gave quite a lot of those that do know you a bit of a scare. Obviously, not as much of a scare as you gave yourself.
Yeah, I certainly didn't see what happening. You know, it's one of those things. Felt absolutely fine going to bed. I never anticipated that that would be that my time would be up that night. You know, fortunately, my lovely, beautiful wife next to me heard a strange noise coming from me and leapt out of bed, turned on the light, and saw me sort of take my last breath, and immediately started the CPR, which ultimately is what saved my life. So. Yeah, it's pretty scary at the age of 36 to have to go through that. But you know, I've got my second chance. There's no reason why I can't lead a long, normal, healthy life. So I'm going to make sure that I live it to its full this time.
And rightly so as well. And your wife, she's with you at the minute, is she?
No, my wife's actually gone back to work.
Oh, is she really? Right, okay.
Yeah, she's a student nurse, which is why she knew exactly what she needed to do. But yeah, she's currently at work tonight.
Yeah, I need to get me one of them, Alan.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, she's. I think she's the difference between life and death. You know, without trying to put too fine a point on it. And wow, yeah, you know, we were all very shocked by what happened to Craig. You know, he's a young man, and you know, only half my age. So yeah, and he's a wonderful family man, and we were all terribly shocked by what happened to him. But what a delight to have him back, and you know, we've got our Craig back. He's got the sharpest mind and the quickest wit of anybody I know, and I love the guy greatly. And yeah, I'm so pleased that he's back among us, and it's a pleasure to welcome him here and say hello tonight. And I know he wanted to come and say hello because, you know, uh, he got such a great response from the league. There's loads of people here who don't know Craig, but everybody could feel how shocked we were. Everybody felt compassion for the result team and this terrible thing happening. And the response of the league was fantastic, of course, without how everybody got together at the end of the race and put on a show for Craig and a show of support for the team. And it was yeah, very memorable. I'm funny enough thinking about it. Yeah,
But
yeah,
you know what?
I'll save you there, Alan. But go on, Craig. Sorry.
It does. When something like this happens, it just shows how wonderful the sim racing community is. So there's a handful of drivers in this particular group that's on track now that know me. That I've raced with some of them. Obviously, some of them are teammates and stuff like that. But you know, just when I watched the stream back and I saw what everyone did and stuff like that, it just helped out so much. You know, the keep fighting Craig and all that kind of stuff. It really did help me when I was in hospital and sort of facing, you know, the worst bit for me was facing having to be sat in there for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
It wasn't actually the fear of the procedure or anything that they were going to, you know, shove in me or take off me or whatever like that. It was more just the sort of just having to fight through Christmas and not being at home and stuff like that. So stuff like that really did help, and it just goes to show how wonderful the sim racing community is. So yeah, thank you to everyone for that, for what they did and showing their support to me at a time in need.
Yeah, one person that I know was very touched by it all was Alan, and yeah, very upset by what could have happened to you. And as I understand it, we're in a much better place for having you recovered. So congratulations and well done on fighting it. And as Roger's car says there, keep fighting, Craig. I'm sure there's still a bit of fighting for you to do. But sounds like the worst of it's over. I'm going to open up a no obligation invite to you. You're more than welcome to stay in the booth and help us commentate on this race if you want to. As a, you know, additional gesture. If you want to go back into the result clothing chat and speak to those guys, those idiots down there, and wrestle Carl away from some pies, then you're more than welcome to do that as well. What would you prefer to do, Craig?
I think I've had enough of the result, boys. To be honest, I'm happy to stick around for a bit.
Awesome.
And join in on the fun, yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. In that case, Alan, you've got a second sensible head and mine in the booth.
well, that's excellent. No. And
Yeah.
of course, Craig's familiar with presentations. We're all friends with Mr. Parfit, and
Yeah.
he does a great job for sim racing as well. And,
Good stuff. Well, we're going to quickly go on board with Wobbly of Kneecaps. Nobody's favourite driver, but he is one of the fastest. He's making his way through Mercedes at the minute. I'll put you a track map up. That'll help everybody. Are you viewing the stream at the minute on Discord, Craig?
Yes, I am.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So you've got it live. So whatever you say is live on the screen. So Wobbly's making his way around the penultimate corner and now the last corner. He's going to fire it towards the start-finish line, which is just ahead of us now. It's where those lights are on the gantries. Turn 1 here is a bit of a gamble. You can pull a 1x on both sides of the track and get a slowdown on the outside if you go far enough. But if you nail it, you can get yourself some good time. Wobbly's making his way towards this very sharp hairpin, this very sharp right-hander before it turns left again. There we go, round to the left, and then we're into the Parabolica, not the Parabolica, of course, at the other track, Monza, which is more like Diabolica. This one, we cut short on this track. This is National B, so we take a tight right-hander in second gear, fire it up through the gears, once we get out of that double right-hander. And then we're into Mercedes again, which is the complex here. A bit twisty, very difficult, very challenging, very technical turns. Getting on the gas as carefully as you can, spinning the wheels in this car. We're on board with the Civic at the minute. Is the worst thing you can do. It takes forever to cool them down as we make our way into the final complex here. A very sharp left-hander in second gear. You want to take a bit of curb there, possibly. Lots of curb on these. Just that one, and then another bit of curb on the next one, but not too much. Run the car as wide as you can in order to set yourself up. Lots of curb here, and then back where we were, going over the stripe. Craig, what's your history of Hockenheimring? Are you well versed at the technical turns here?
No, I don't know much about the car. I've only ever actually raced it once, and that was in a GR86, which is the less said about that, the better. So, I didn't get on with the car, and I certainly didn't get on with the track either. So, I mean, looking at the times, there's some really close times. So I'm expecting we're going to see some really close racing here.
Yeah, this one's going to be a bit of drama, to be honest. I'm just going to sort out my sound because I need a bit more out of iRacing than I'm getting at the moment, and I can't increase it there. So. I think once we trip over to them. Oh, I've got a new set of buttons to press as well, Alan.
Oh, have you? Oh, it's showing off now.
I know. I've just got to remember which way round they are, because if I do the wrong ones, I'm going to throw a caution before the race even starts.
You don't need to give these guys any more ammunition, Pete.
No, I know. They get me every time. And one thing to note is the Pro and Am for those that are new to the broadcast. So on the timing tower there. On the left of your screens, you'll see blue numbers. They are the Pro cars. They've got blue number boards, blue banners, and white backgrounds behind their names, unless they are a previous champion in the form of. Click the wrong thing then. Click the broadcast, which was stupid. Sam Blees. So he is a previous multiple champion and our current reigning champion. He's got a yellow background behind his banner. So again, in the timing towers, where you see an orange number, they are AM classes. Miguel Freitas takes the provisional pole. So AM class cars, most north at the moment is Tony Walker, who's been most north on a number of occasions this season, and he has orange banners, orange number boards, and is orange on your broadcast with white background behind the names and numbers. And also in that same category, we got any previous winners in there? I don't think so at the moment. Not that I can select anyway, but yes, that's how we work out all our classes at the moment.
Well done, Pete. That was pretty good.
It was pretty good. Yeah, it's the most professional I've ever done that. And since we've been doing this for 8 years, that's saying something. Roger Morton.
Well, you know, the new banners and the new class of for the arms is a brand new thing, and honestly, I think it's working great. I'm enjoying it because you can't say that's been responsible for the torrent of good racing we've had, because it doesn't. Obviously, that's the drivers, but it's I think it's had a whole slice of interest for the entire proceedings.
Yeah, I can't agree more with that. It's been stunning. Not sure how many of our races you've seen, Craig, but I know you know a lot of the drivers that are in here because you'll have driven with them in other series, and especially if you've been with Mr. Parfit and his series.
Yeah, I do know quite a few of the drivers. I've raced quite a few in various other leagues. Not got much experience in this car, to be fair. I know Carl Hardy's been on my case for absolutely, since the cars came out. To try and get me on the track, and I have driven them, and I think it's just come down to sort of lack of time and just kind of focusing on what was at the time was the MX-5. I love the MX-5. Recently just become obsessed with the Renault Clio. But hey, I've got 3 months off work now, so I've got plenty of time to start playing around with new cars.
Oh, 3 months off work sounds like a dream. It really does. So I mean, one day you've got 4 cars to choose from. The Audi, let me find Iker. Oh, he's in the pits. There's only one Audi. It's not the car of choice at all. You've got here we go. The Elantra. This one's in the hands of Flashy Elmore. If you've watched any of the broadcasts, you know why he's called that. It's the most annoying thing in the world, and you can always tell when he's concentrating because he doesn't flash his lights, which I always find very funny. You've got the Honda Civic in the hands here, eventually, of Mark Draper, who you will have raced against many times probably. He's in the SRL Next Gen, which is what his team's called, Next Generation. And then Jamie of Wilson in the Veloster, so probably the most agile of the cars, has the highest top speed. You would think that makes it the best of the cars, but the most popular and most prolific is the Elantra, and there's a whole ton of them in this league at the moment. It is the car of choice. I think it's the one least likely to destroy you on a regular basis, and the one that makes it's the most showings at the top of the timing tables appears to be the Honda, and Lord only knows why.
Right, it's interesting because when they rebalanced the cars, they did change the dynamic, and it's a shame that the Audis languishing a bit because they did have that little comeback. I mean, it does change, doesn't it, from season to season, Pete? As they rebalance the cars, you do get a shift in the prowess of the different cars, and the Elantra, when the Elantra first came out, that was certainly very competitive, and then it had a swing away to the what's that other one, the Velociraptor.
Yeah, the Velociraptor. Yeah.
And, that got an edge, and now that seems to have lessened again, and the Civic seems to have ups and downs. I think that's a very track-specific thing with the Civic as well.
It is. This is by far the best balance of performance that iRacing have achieved with these cars since they got released, I would say. It's absolutely brilliant at the moment. We've put him on the screen. He wasn't racing the last couple of weeks, so
please wait, mate. We're racing.
It's Russell Cowell. Craig's
nice
busy thinking, what the hell was that?
I am, yeah.
More than a couple of seasons ago, about 5 seasons ago, we had a race around one of the tracks, and I should remember which one it is, but I can't. And there was a car coming around to lap Russell Cowell, and he was in the thick of racing, and over the broadcast and live in the background, not live to everybody watching, he said,
"Please wait, mate. We're racing."
to Simon, and it's just been there ever since. Anyway, right, that was the end of qualifying. So now we are going to go to grid. I need to press this. Hang on.
Well, qualifying's...
I don't know what that just did, by the
way. Fierce for this first sprint race, because we see so often that it ends the way it starts.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Mighty quick, and they make very few mistakes. So if you're going to get past them, you're going to have your work cut out.
Right, I'm going to nail my way through this grid. I'm not going to mention the teams because I don't know whether the instruction that I just pressed actually worked, and I'll find out later. Stephen Walker will be your pole man tonight. What a great result for him. And next to him on the front row will be Sam Blees. Wobbly kneecaps will go off third. Miguel Freitas off fourth. 2 Hondas on the second row. David Johansson off fifth. Jamie Jeffrey off sixth. Seventh will be Spencer McCarthy. Eighth will be Matt Elmore, Flashy himself. The Pie Man will go off ninth. Our fastest AM driver this evening, so far anyway, is Tony Walker, and he's going off 10th. Mark Draper will go off 11th. Kevin Daniels off 12th. I'm staring at the screen, I'm forgetting to press buttons. 13th will be Tom Woodcock. 14th will be Roger Morton. Jay Corley will go off 15th. Jamie Wilson will go off 16th. Pete Van Gool off 17th. Russell Cowell off 18th. JB Dejoux off 19th. 20th will be David Corpus. 21st will be Arnaud Chenonnier. Marcel Frick will go off 22nd. 23rd will be Jason Haddington, Kylie himself. I'll tell you about that again in a minute, Craig. Chris Needham will go off 24th. And 25th will be Ike Leku. Fiona Siddons will go off 26th. And 27th will be Andrew Littler. All those people flashing their lights, you can stop that crap right now. Stop it. Everybody stop it. Right.
What happened to Ike?
I don't. He joined late. He joined very late. I'm only assuming he didn't get. Stop it. He's. They so annoy me. Oh, so many points that are going to get deducted. You fools. Anyway, we're waiting for Wobbly. We're usually waiting for Sam Blees. We're waiting for Wobbly to join the grid, and he's not joined the grid.
Oh, my
Where's
word.
Wobbly?
Wobbly, what are you doing?
I don't know. This is weird, but we're going, and they are green. Wobbly, I think, is pit lane started, or worse. I don't know what's going on there. We're a bit congested. Flashy has been too much on the button and has dropped himself right down the standings. And that does look like Wobbly there in the midfield. No, it's not. That's JB. I don't know where Wobbly is. He's not joined the track. Ooh,
he's not on the boards, Pete. So
no, that's bizarre.
Wobbly's a mystery, but that's nothing unusual.
No, that was Sam Blees going. No, it wasn't Sam Blees. Who was that? Spencer.
That would have been Spencer going agricultural.
He was nearly paying for admission back into the grounds.
His qualification wasn't as Spencer as Esk as we would normally expect.
No, you're right. He's usually higher up the grid than that. And he's making it work. Cal Hardy's getting a real rough time of it back here.
Well, Spencer's obviously got pace because it's no mean feat to get away from Carl in these early laps because Carl's red hot with these cold tyres.
Yeah, he really is. Back here, Fiona Siddon's picking up places because Chris Needham and Matt Elmore getting together. Wobbly Kneecaps still not joined the race, sorry. Miguel Freitas, though, putting lots and lots of pressure on Sam Blees as Stephen Walker legs it, or tries to.
Well, that's a pretty elite group, isn't it?
A very elite group at the pointy end of this one. There's lots going on back here with Kevin Daniels. That's Mark Draper going super wide. I don't know whether he was trying to soak up a slowdown there. Certainly looked that way to me. There's people dropping out of the train at the moment to try and soak up slowdowns. And this is looking a bit tasty here. This is Tony Walker putting a move on Carl Hardy, and he's made that work beautifully.
Yeah, it's a very tight corner, and but there's so much swoop to this track. It's lovely to drive. There's plenty of width. You can see that comfortably 2 wide. 3 wide is manageable in some of the parts, and there's plenty to keep you interested while you're driving it.
Yep, this is a crowded house here, 4 wide. Oh my dear God. So, Craig, are you wishing you were racing?
To be honest, I wish I was racing anything at the moment.
Yeah,
I just want to get behind the wheel. But no, this is looking really, really good. A little bit of door banging going on here and there, but nothing too serious so far. But it's great to see lots of 2 wide, 3 wide in certain areas. It looks like it's going to be a tasty race.
Yeah, that's Spencer again.
Was that Pete going sideways?
I think it was, yeah. There's all sorts of movement going on at the minute. Marcel Frick out in the weeds, out in the kitty litter, actually.
So, no damage, though. That's one of the nice things about this circuit. You can... if you're lucky, you can get it wide and get back on the circuit without at least not picking up any damage to your suspension, which you don't want.
No, you don't. JB was all out of shape back there a minute ago, and Mark Draper decided he wanted the extra wide entry into the last corner. That probably got him a slowdown somewhere along the way. Roger Morton went side by side with JB through the kink at turn 1, and he's suffered for that one. Oh, Roger Morton, that was brutal. We've got a few crashes just there.
That was a hard hit, that one.
Yeah, let's have a look at this. I don't know whether Craig's got an opinion on this one. Oh, he lost it on the way in, and then got tagged on the way out. Okay. Yeah, the back end of that car waggled, didn't it, Craig? Quite badly.
Yeah, he just needs to be better, doesn't he? That's all you can say about that. Just be better.
Yeah, that's class. This was Chris Needham getting this all wrong. He hit the curb, then the sausage curb, and then nearly wiped somebody out, and then.
That's when we saw Marcelo.
It was
his excursion.
It was. So that's what happened there. Let me go back to live racing.
He was so unlucky, wasn't he, Marcel? Because that was,
Oh dear, Roger's car looks like it's been in the mincer. So that's
If
not
he
good.
gets any pace out of that, that's a miracle. Because crikey, perhaps he's just trying to get to the pits. If you can avoid the towing, it's still a 20-minute race. If you've got to go to the pits, you're really stuffed.
Yes. We need to find, or I need to find, Miguel's overtake for second place. It was in the middle of all of that, and so much stuff has happened, I can't even find the damn thing. But it's here somewhere. You guys keep talking. Right, there's all sorts going on back here again. Oh my God, there were 3 wide there for a minute.
There's my work guard buddies.
Yeah.
The squad is doing their formation driving. It's spend hours practicing this, honestly.
For a change.
Well, maybe minutes.
Right. At the minute, pit lane is a busy place. So Mark Draper's in here. We'll have to have a look at that. I don't know why he's in there. Roger Morton's in there, obviously, and Marcel Frick, obviously, is in there.
Oh, crikey. They're all in the same Discord room as well, so they can share their tears.
Yes, I'm sure. Right, it's all still happening out here on the track, though. This is David Corpus trying to get a move done on Russell Cowell. He gave him a helping hand nearly into the scenery there.
Nicely controlled by Russell to keep his car under control.
Yeah, absolutely.
Got it back on the track nicely. So we haven't seen him for a few weeks, but hey, he's not lost any of his talent and his skill.
No, oh, that's Iker muscling his way through on Fiona there. I'm sure Fee won't be too happy about that. Stephen
If he
Walker.
can get some toe, he needs to get up and get the toe. If she can get the toe, she can hang on, because it's there's a lot of toe around here. I know these cars are reduced, but it's wide and there's some straights. But you've got to tuck in.
You do.
And that's not easy. But it's not easy. These guys are quick.
Yeah, and Stephen Walker is getting caught by Miguel Freitas. I don't know whether you know Miguel Freitas, do you, Craig? But he is some kind of racer. Super fast.
One of the impulse guys is impulse driver. In my experience, they don't do any of the kind.
Yeah, yeah. Absolutely.
That was a lovely move, that one there.
That was Sam Blees. Yeah.
That was textbook on how you make a move, that really was.
Yeah, and the guy he's overtaken is no slouch. That's Jamie Jeffrey, who's nearly won this league before.
Had an outstanding season, and he's really coming to his own as a sim racer. He's a real world racer, but he's really found his feet as a sim racer.
Yeah, really has.
And we see his skill and his finesse and his racecraft coming through, and it's very nice to see.
And then there's this rabble. But yes, you were right, Craig. That was textbook. That is exactly how you should do it. Later on the brakes, positioned his car well, kept it clean. It takes 2 to make a clean overtake, even if you're the one being overtaken.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
Yeah. So these 3 are hot on it now. That's Jamie Wilson leading, Carl Hardy and Tom Woodcock, who's been mega fast. He is going to be very, very happy because he is ahead of Tony Walker. That's Tom Woodcock there. This is Tony Walker back here. And they are duking it out for the top spot in AM class. And that's Jay Corley around the outside. He had a bit of a rough time last time out, didn't he, Alan? Various bits of his car lying around. Or was that the week before? There was definitely a week where his car went into the crusher.
Yes, but they're all scrappers.
Yep.
They are, and Jay, I don't, he's. It's nice to see he was new to the league. I think that team was there this season. Was it? Or did they join at the back end of last?
But, back end of last season. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, yeah. So relatively new to the league, and but they've really found their feet, haven't they? They quickly established themselves.
Yep. Iker Leku here on. Is that Andrew Littler? Yeah. Andrew Littler finding himself in a very good point scoring position here. He's in 21st, about to be in 20th, sorry, he is now. Iker's just taken 19th away from him.
And you can live with Iker, he's doing very well, because just how fast he is. He was well out of position at the start of the race. So
I've been really impressed with Andy Littler lately. He's come on leaps and bounds, and anything he drives, he's doing really, really well. It's good to see.
Yeah, can't agree more with that. Right, at the front, everything's stayed about as static as it's going to be. These two teammates here of Kevin Daniels and Tom Woodcock are thrashing it out. They're slowing each other down a little, actually, and that's Tony Walker that's crawled onto the back of Tom Woodcock. This is for real points. If I press the magic button, which one is it? This one? Yes. You can see there that in the AM class, Tom Woodcock, Tony Walker, they're at the top of their standings in the league overall for AM class, and they've got it all to fight for here.
Roger didn't go in the pits, I don't think, because if he did he go in the pits?
He did. He's got a nice
shiny. Yeah, so he's got a nice shiny car, so we can expect him to maybe close the gap. At least he's got a drive under his feet again.
Yeah.
That won't last long. give it a few more laps.
You can join us in here again.
Nice and shiny. It's nice and shiny at the moment. Really enjoy it. To be fair to Roger, he's a very clean driver.
Really?
He's got really good car handling.
No, again, recently he's shown form in pretty much whatever he drives. Something's just clicked with him lately. He's definitely one to watch out for.
Yes, we've seen it. We've seen it. Honestly, he's really shot up in the last couple of weeks. He's had top 10 finishes, and he's really. That's how he's been pulling our driver of the meeting awards, because he's just been putting outstanding performances. Really, raising himself up the grid. And I tell you, that's no easy thing. This place is this is a tough league. But there aren't any ropey drivers in here. They rate from good to outstanding.
Oh, look at this!
Yay!
He's managed to squeeze himself in there, David Corbis, but he's going to lose out, I think.
Oh, crikey!
No, he's not. He's going to keep the preferable side of the track there, and he's muscled out Tom Woodcock. Or has he? No, Tom's still got that position. But that's Tony Walker in front that's just legging it now. And Tom Woodcock's not going to be happy about that, because that's points away from the AM Championship, as Jamie and Carl, the Pie Man, go at it.
Oh. Well, neither of them are giving in, are they?
Very not. And I think Carl is going to take that position, or retain the position. Oh my dear word. Alan, pass me my blood pressure pills again.
Yeah, they're not mucking about out there.
No, they're really not. Ooh, Jamie's got him at the kink, but the momentum is on the outside of that turn. And he's making himself a victim here of Kevin Daniels now, because Kevin's in on the scene.
Well, Kevin's really rapid, as he's demonstrated recently. He's got incredible pace.
Terrifyingly quick.
He's gonna make a feast of these guys if they keep scrapping like this.
Yeah.
And they won't know how to stop, because they're just natural born antagonists. They just want to race.
Yes. Tom Woodcock still defending that position from David Corpus here, and Jay Corley and that Honda is on the back of the group. We're going to have a... Oh, no, we're not. We're going to stay with this for a second. So Tom Woodcock just lost out to David Corpus. That was a lovely overtake. Bit of a block pass going through the next bit there. Good grief. These guys do not let up. Jay Corley can see two positions just begging for him, and JB gives him a little poke around the corner. Kept it
got hold of the car. Got hold of the car.
Yeah. We're going to just nip to the front of the field just briefly, because Miguel is catching Stephen Walker. Behind him, the other guys have kind of spread out. So,
wow.
Guys at the front, if you want to get on the camera, you're going to have to be racing with each other. Where did Flashy Elmore end up after all of that? He's back here.
Miguel's got got his racing boots off. He's chasing Stephen, and Stephen was on pole with the fastest lap. So to be cutting into his lead, they're both going at it hard.
Yeah. Right. Flashy went to pit road. This isn't a children's nursery rhyme, by the way.
Why did he do that?
And I don't know. He seemed to have gone. I think he may have gone out on qualifying fuel. I'm not sure. But he's just recovered a position there.
That would be unfortunate.
Yeah, I can't see anything. See, if he wasn't pressing his flashy button, then he'd have probably got it right, eh?
Well, he's paying the price now.
He is. I still can't find.
He was well up there in 5th position, wasn't he? 5th or 4th?
Oh yeah, he had a brilliant qualifying. No doubt about that at all. Did he go to pit road? No, he's not been to pit road. Where the hell has he lost all those positions?
Something's happened, that's for sure.
Yeah, right. I'm going to move us. Well, we're still on the action. This is where the action's at. These guys here. I'm going to do my best to find out where he lost it. And everybody passed him. Still not finding it. Where is it? Oh, there we go. Alright. No, I did. Right, okay, let's have a look at this quickly. So, he's the car with the paint scheme that makes your eyes bleed on the right-hand side there of Ica. And then he just goes to pit road. I think he's gone out on quali fuel. Hang on. Elmo.
He couldn't have got a drive-through.
Not in that time, surely. I know we're 17 minutes in, so we've only got 3 minutes left, but still, this was a bit ago.
No, it's what happened there? Did he bump into something?
No, he's driving through.
Yeah.
Serving a penalty. All right, well, that's what happened to him. We'll find out why that happened to him later. What'd you get for a drive-through, Craig? Is that not serving a black flag? Or jump in the start. It'll be jump in the start.
He couldn't have opted up for jumping in the start for 17 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know then. Pass.
No,
What's the session set up for in terms of incidents and stuff like that?
15.
Right, okay.
I don't think he's going to pull 15 incidents in that time. It's just not possible. So, good evening to David Ayres on the chat. Wobbly's wheel broke, by the way. So.
Oh, goodness me.
Yeah. Ant Woodward is on the chat. Why are you not racing in this, seeing as there's no V8 league at the minute? Tyler's on the chat. Did someone grease the track? No, they didn't need to. We're at Hockenheim, rather. It's naturally greased.
Naturally greased.
It's the Bratwurst. It's the Bratwurst. It's left marks on the track. Nice to see such strong grids. Yes, it is. It's brilliant to have these grids as Fiona finds herself another racing partner. In fact, she's got 2. That's Andrew Littler that she's thrashing it out with at the minute. This is going to be a good race. And that was Chris Needham making his way through on them. Much delayed.
He's a good wheel. If they can get onto Chris's wheel, they'll do well.
Yeah, they really will. This battle is still going on between all of these cars here. And Miguel, for some obscure reason, yet again I don't know, Miguel has dropped back from Lucky Wookie Walker, and he's got a 1.4 second lead now, and I think we've just gone on to white flag lap. So this is the last lap, guys.
Well, was Stephen just toying with Miguel, or has Miguel made a slight error or something? Because that gap was shrinking, not growing.
Yeah. There's Barney waving the white flag there. I'm looking for Kevin Daniels. There he is. His car's in perfect nick, Davey D, on the chat. So keep watching because he's in 9th place. Interestingly, reverse grid. We do a reverse grid in the second of tonight's races, Craig, which is a 40-minute race where they have to pit for fuel because they're on 35% fuel capacity. JB is holding the position right now for the reverse grid, but PVG is right behind him, and I think he's wanting to take that. We're going to have to stick with the front guys because we are not far from the end of this lap and the end of this race. I'll read whatever David Ayres has said before long. Penultimate corner. This looks like a race victory for Stephen Walker. There we go. He's done it.
Well done, Stephen. Yeah, he'll be excited about that. That's probably his first victory, isn't it?
Of this season, yeah. He's a
Yeah,
previous
he's come
champion.
back to the league. Yeah, previous champion came back to the league and and got his old racing boots on.
He has. Carl Hardy comes out top of the pile for everybody else, if you know what I mean. So who got the top AM? It was Tony Walker.
Tony Walker.
Well done to him.
And Tom.
Right behind him.
Yeah, these two, inseparable. There you go. Look at that.
Arnaud Chenonnier made it to 14th, up 7
Another
places.
good drive.
Yeah,
another good drive.
and a quiet drive.
Yeah. And look where Carly is. That's a good drive by Carly as well.
Yeah, Russell Cowell gave Arnaud a bit of a hip check there over the line. Not sure what that was all about. And Fiona, over in 22nd. Nicely done.
Happy days.
Yeah, Roger Morton.
Paul Roger coming in. Well,
down the.
took his medicine, still came out on the track.
Yep.
Still raced. That's the racer's heart for you.
Well, if he hadn't done, he'd have finished behind those 4 drivers that didn't actually finish / start. So he's done well there, to be fair.
Yeah, well, we like that attitude.
We do. Right, results. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, it worked. Oh, no, it didn't. Yeah, it did. So, Stephen Walker took away the win for round 9. This is, isn't it? Yeah, round 9 of the BSTV TCR Challenge Cup Season 15. Hockenheim for Spectre 6. Miguel Freitas finished second, putting good amounts of pressure on Stephen for quite a long time there for Impulse Racing. David Johansson finished third for Sim Racing Grid. And he'll be very happy because he's finished ahead of some of the key protagonists in the league up to this point. But yeah, lowest step on the podium, but still a podium finish for David Johansson. Sam Blee's just out of the podium places there in 4th for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing. Jamie Jeffrey, great result for him in 5th for Coupes and Convertibles Racing, with Spencer McCarthy in 6th for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing. Carl Hardy finished in 7th for Safeguard by Result, with Jamie Wilson in 8th in that hard-fought battle for Team Chimera. Kevin Daniels finished 9th for Davey D for Sim Racing Grid. Tony Walker, 10th overall and 1st of the AM class cars over the line for Spectre 6 with Tom Woodcock hot on his heels in 11th and 2nd for AM for Sim Racing Grid. David Corpus finished 12th for Lurchis Academy with Jay Corley in 13th. Arnaud Chenonnier in 14th for Air Smart Racing and JB Dejoux 15th for BSTV Esports Pink. PVG finished 16th for Result Clothing at iRacing Team, and Kylie finished 17th for Air Smart Racing with Russell Cowell in 18th for Spectre Solo. 19th was Ike Leku for Lurchis Academy. 20th was Flashy for Spectre 6 after a drive-through. Andy Littler finished 21st for Workguard with his teammate Fiona in 22nd just behind him. Roger Morton finished 23rd for Safeguard by Result. Chris Needham was 24th for Air Smart Racing. Mark Draper had incidents and pit stops for 25th position, SRL Next Gen. Marcel Frick, we saw what happened to him, 26th for Result Clothing iRacing Team. And Wobbly Kneecaps didn't start because his tech betrayed him.
So frustrating.
Russell says I could have had myself another soundbite then. Yes, I didn't click the buttons fast enough, and by the time I thought about it, it would have been embarrassing to do it. So I didn't. Jamie Jeffries' fan club are here, so Shane Newport's on the chat. Russell Cowell says, yay, 18th. Great one. Not embarrassed at all. What's this? David Ayres, another expensive night of repairs for a result stable. Yeah. Are you able to run? Are you able to turn Craig's volume up a tad? Craig, turn your volume up, mate. Let Carl know Scary Mary brought sausage rolls and donuts into work this afternoon and he missed it because he wasn't in. Oh dear.
Heartbreak.
I know. It's terrible. So, Craig, with higher volume, what were your thoughts on that race?
Yeah, I thought it was really, really good. There was lots of clean action. There was a little bit of perhaps some of the drivers not gauging whip so well. I'm not just talking about Carl Hardy gauging his waist size, but it's it was good to watch. Some really interesting battles there. As my sort of first time watching a TCR race all the way through, I was really impressed with some of the driving throughout the field. Nice clean action. That's what we like to see.
It is, yeah. And this league's got a history for good sportsmanship. Even if the racing isn't 100% as you'd want it, it's more to do with how it's dealt with, and these guys deal with it very, very well. We just watched Tom Woodcock enter pit road. It is quite tight, that right-hander. As you enter pit road, oh, that's a great camera. Well done, Pete. There we go. Nobody out on track at the moment. We've only got about 20 seconds before the 40-minute race kicks off. We don't take tyres. These tyres last for hours. But we do take fuel. 35% fuel tank for both of these races means that it would be a remarkable struggle to get it to the end with no stops. It has been done before, but only on tracks with a massive pit road. We finally figured out what was going on. We've got new messages on the chat. Flashy is saying, main thing, did you see the start? Yes, we did see the start with the flashing. Yes, thank you. I think there was somebody orchestrating something there.
I'm assuming you're not a fan of the flashing.
I find it horrendous and
It's
yes.
famous for it. It's a famous thing, Craig, in the league.
I love it. So, and I'm against.
Well,
I think we can do it.
maybe your final time in the booth, but there you go. So JB will lead us away in the. Oh, crikey, hang on.
Of course, we've got the reverse grids.
We do.
Coming up for this, Craig. So, yeah, this is a different kettle of fish entirely.
It is. So JB will lead us away for BSTV Sports Pink. Arnaud Chenonnier will go off second for Air Smart Racing with Jay Corley off third. David Corpus off fourth for Lurch's Academy. Tom Woodcock off fifth for Sim Racing Grid. Tony Walker off sixth for Spectre 6. Look how many AM class cars are in the top six. Kevin Daniels for Sim Racing Grid will go off seventh. Jamie Wilson will go off eighth for Team Chimera. Ninth will be Carl Hardy for Safeguard by Result. Spencer McCarthy off 10th for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing. Jamie Jeffrey will go off 11th for Coupes and Convertibles. Sam Blees off 12th for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing. And 13th will be David Johansson for Sim Racing Grid. Miguel Freitas will go 14th for Impulse Racing. And Stephen Walker, our winner of the first race tonight, will go off 15th for Spectre 6. Then we've got PVG off 16th. 17th will be Jason Haddington. Russell Cowell off 18th. 19th, Ike Lecu. Matt Elmore off 20th. Get off the button. 21st, Andrew Littler. 22nd, Fiona. 23rd, Roger. 24th, Chris Needham. 25th is that Mark Draper? Yeah, Mark Draper. Marcel Frick off 26th. And Wobbly, maybe. Although he's not joined the session, I don't think, again. I think he's got terminal problems with that wheel. Will probably not start 27th. Stop flashing your lights. Fiona, I thought better of you. I thought better of you.
Oh, you won't forget that fee.
No, there's 1,000 points from Work Guard. I can see Carl doing it as well. And Roger, what is wrong with you people? Right, okay. So we're...
It's their way of expressing their no gratitude.
I can live without it, if I'm being honest. Yeah. What's this? Davey D, you're all getting punished for the flashes. Yes. Oh, right, we're going racing.
Here we
There's
go.
some other messages. I'll read them out in a minute. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let the racing begin.
Oh, this is exciting.
Right, everyone's away. I think even Flashy got away without pressing his buttons for once.
Nice clean start.
Yeah. Oh, there's a bit of a hip check there. And that is Kevin Daniels got a bit of muscling
20
out.
wide,
5,
3 wide through
4,
T1.
4
Oh
wide.
my word, 4 wide, 5 wide. Oh my word. Can't look.
I'm staring at this through my fingers. Oh dear, there's a bit of shunting, but nothing more than that.
Woo.
We're still 4 wide, I think, Alan. And Craig, obviously.
Yeah.
I was going to say that looked like it had disaster written all
It
over
did.
it, and it still does.
Yeah. Spencer McCarthy, latest of the latest breakers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a car nearly round.
Oh,
Right side.
shake, rattle and roll. Look at that.
Yep, there's a lot going on here. I think that was David Johansson getting shunted and punted all over the place by Miguel, but I don't think Miguel had much to do with it, to be honest.
No,
Excuse me.
A bit of car control issue
Oh.
there, I think.
Chris
Oh.
Needham has ended up in pit road. What's this one?
Early
He was
to the pits.
towards the back. Fiona just behind him, and now on his... Oh, no. Oh, he's just driven off. Something technical, maybe? Something technical, I would say.
Oh no.
Right, go back live racing because we're missing out on all this
Yeah, he
craziness.
quit back to the pits.
Oh,
He quit
what a
back,
time
so-
to rejoin.
Oh,
That's Tom Woodcock.
ouch. Oh, Tom.
We're going to have to look at that straight away because that involves lots of points. And not only is Tom out, but David Johansson I've just seen has crashed as well. So a little bit of rubbing and racing with Matt. Is that Matt Flannery? I don't know.
Oh, crikey.
Oh, right, he got...
Oh.
Oh, well, he kind of went across the front of whoever that was. But he had no choice but to go across the front of whoever that was. Right, that was a bit of a funny one.
Wow, it's close quarters, and any kind of problem with the car, any mishandle with the car, any back end out of line, and you're in trouble, aren't you?
Yeah, very.
You're right next to somebody else.
I think that was very much the curse of being the car in the middle, unfortunately.
I think you
Yeah.
are completely right. I don't think there was much steering could help anybody in that situation.
It's yeah.
So, JB Dejoux is leading this race, and he's got himself nearly a second worth of lead over
Hey,
Arnaud
wait.
Chenonnier.
Look who's got the fastest lap.
Who has got the fastest lap? Who was it?
JB.
Oh, it's JB.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't see who it was. Look at this, because the rabble are just tied up with one another. Right, David Ayres says, I'd love to set up a strobe light on Pete's rig. No, you won't. No, you wouldn't. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to see what that will do to me. Anyway. Oh, right. David Corpus is getting the Spencer McCarthy treatment of being stared at through his own rear view mirror. So that might go on a little bit. There's a bit of a crowded house back here where Miguel is. And that's Jamie Wilson about to surrender that position, I think, from Miguel. Yes, he's definitely done it now. And Tony Walker right behind him. Stephen Walker has already made his way through. Stephen Walker's up 8 positions already. And there he is. Alright, we're going to go back here. Sam Blee's trying to get round Tony Walker. Or through him, I'm not sure which. Gets out on that dusty stuff and loses time. Excuse me. Have you raced this config, guys?
Can't say that I have.
I have done, and it's a bit tasty when you get to that particular corner because you want to carry all the speed you can, and you can't basically.
I've done it, and it's a craftier corner than it looks like.
Yeah.
It looks very bizarre to me.
It is. It's strange, and it's kind of against the run of the flow of the track. It is, but yeah, it brings you around, and it chops one of the back straights in half, and it changes the character of the track amazingly for what it is.
Yeah. It really does. It's bizarre. So we're going to have a look at what Miguel's doing here. He's got Carl Hardy, the pie man, in front of him. Jamie Jeffrey gets the fastest lap. And look who's gone to pit road. I'd feign surprise if I could do. Sam Blease. Every race, he's generally the first. Yeah, lap 4.
Oh, crikey.
That's super early. I mean, it's only a short lap, so maybe that's to do with it. But
I hope it's him being strategic and not in trouble.
well, it's unlike him to get in trouble. David Johansen's followed him in, but he's much delayed after whatever happened to him at the start of the race.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Very.
David's a natural front runner, but
Yeah.
you know, it's a longer race, and they are time to make a difference. And we've seen people drive through the entire field before now.
Yes.
It's a spectacular sight.
Yeah.
It's not easy to get past any one of these chaps. You might get past 10 of them.
It's a bit crazy, to be honest, when they make their way through. And what's that I hear in the background?
Please wait, mate. We're racing.
Oh, it's that again. Because Russell Cowell's on the screen. Right, Flashy is stuck behind Pete Van Gool at the minute, but he is up 5 positions. Roger Morton's up 7 positions.
Roger's doing very well. He's there with Matt, and
I think Roger's definitely had his porridge this morning.
it's an interesting group of cars. That 5. Who's that just behind him? So let's have a look. Because,
Who's that? Iker or
Kylie.
Kylie.
Kylie's trying to chase down
Yeah.
Roger. Come on.
Right.
That's really good driving, because they're going at some lickety split.
Ooh, nobody wants to be the first to turn in, apparently, as they make their way around that corner. That is David Corpus with Stephen Walker just ahead of him, Carl Hardy behind him, and then Miguel at the back of the train.
Yeah, they won't want to be having any incidents, because these are serious contenders, all of this lot.
Where did Carl Hardy go? And where's David Corpus off to?
Oh.
David and Carl thought they were on the other layout of the track, clearly. And they've lost a position to Jamie Wilson now as well. Jamie Wilson, a bit of the bubble in the spirit level at the minute, because he's not gained or lost any position since the start. People have worked their way past him one way and past him the other.
Takes some doing, to be honest, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's pretty impressive. Whoa! Spencer McCarthy says, I'm having that position. What a fantastic bit of braking that was. You could call it a send, I guess, but it was controlled.
Was that Arno?
It was Arno he put behind him, yeah.
He's hard to get past, though. He's a determined Frenchman, and yeah, he doesn't. But you know, Spencer is an overtaking god,
Yes.
and we haven't seen the best of him yet.
No.
He just came back.
It's terrifying when he gets going, isn't it?
When he finds his mojo, everyone's going to be in trouble.
An overtaking god. That's a label that I'd quite like to have one day.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just the truth.
I wouldn't give my label of well hung up for a godlike one. I think I'll just stick with what I've got, to be honest. Anyway, what happened with Johansson? Yeah, I need to find out what that was. Yeah, sorry, Davey D. Let me go and find out. I'm not sure that was it, because he went to pit road, so let me go and find out what it really was. You guys keep watching these guys, and I'll try and find out.
Well, we're still. I mean, JB's still at the front. I mean, he's doing an amazing job. Jamie's chasing him hard, and you know, he's right in his boot. But JB's doing a splendid job. That's a very loud and proud piece of orange at the top of all those blues there.
It is, yeah. I've got a funny feeling that David Johansson has been to pit road twice.
Oh no!
And once, I think, may have been for a naughty boy incident. So this is him, and he just peels off to the right. And I think if we were to follow this all the way through, I think he got busted for jumping the start.
Ah,
or something. 'Cause
I didn't see a jump start.
Oh no, he's going to his box.
No, I didn't see a jump start.
No, I didn't. But so he's boxed the car and then gone again. So I don't know what the hell that was all about. Is that? Can you get a
Stop
penalty?
and go.
Yeah, that'll be a
Stop
stop
and
and
go.
go penalty, won't it? Yeah.
Right. Okay. Odd.
So,
Right. So that's David E. That's what happened. David A. says he agrees. I am a well-hung princess. I'll have to explain that to Craig eventually as well. He's probably thinking, what are these idiots doing in this booth at all?
I don't think I want you to be honest.
Oh, JB's been caught, and he's been caught by some very fast guys. That's
Yeah.
Jamie, Jeffrey, and Spencer.
yes. Not what you want to see in your rearview mirror, to be honest.
Well, that was 1 second worth of lead that vanished in about 6 corners.
But to be honest, JB should be incredibly proud of where he is and what he's achieved so far, because he's held these people at bay for a very long time. Lap 7.
He's got 3 points from leading laps, because you get a point for every lap that you lead, with a maximum of 3 per race. So he's contributed some excellent points to himself there, as Spencer takes a move on to Jamie Jeffrey, which will give JB a breathing space for a while, as everybody seems to start piling into the pits. Look.
Oh, yes.
A bit congested in there. We'll head back to this battle very quickly.
JB's Craig. JB's like Roger and Andy is an improved driver this season. He's really he's found his mojo as well, and he's suddenly driving out of his skin and moved up the grid the same way. And we're just delighted to see. He's such a lovely man, and we're just delighted to see him in this position in a race after seasons slogging away in the midfield. And this is great to see.
It's always great to see those moments where something just clicks with a driver, and all of a sudden you get the performance from them that you just knew that was always there. But it takes a while, doesn't it?
Well, it's like a switch goes on sometimes, and it's amazing. And I just love to see people getting the reward for the effort and the dedication they put in. And you can't begrudge any of these guys that, they put the time and the effort in, and we see the superb results, which is our enjoyment of their great skill.
Absolutely. And so JB very carefully works his way backwards into 3rd place. He's got Stephen Lucky Wookie Walker, the man with the luckiest underpants in the northern and southern hemispheres of this planet, bearing down on him now.
I've got so many questions.
I know you do. I know, bless you. It's going to take a while, honestly. This league's been going for how many years has this been going for, Alan? 4 years, 5 years.
It would take 15 seasons or something.
Something like that. It's 15 the 15th season, yeah. We used to run it with GT4s and TCRs, just like the Le Mans series, pilot series used to be.
Oh, there's Andy in the pit.
Andy's in the pits for a scheduled stop. We're going to go back to this group. This is where a lot of the action is. There's more action back here with Roger, because he's found Russell Cowell.
Well, that's interesting, because we haven't seen Roger and Russell racing together really before. Russell's not been here, and Roger's improved out of all sight from the last time he was among us. So very interesting, and they've got to set their markers down with each other.
Yeah, and I'll just talk everybody through the chaos that's going to be Daytona. So this coming, what is it, Friday and Saturday is the Daytona Raw, so I'll be racing that. So if anybody wants to laugh, just come and watch whatever I crash on lap 1 with. And then the week after, we're doing, it's almost like a care in the community for races. So BSTV are partnered up with these guys, Spectre 6, as Matt Elmore, Flashy, enters pit road. We're also partnered up with these guys, Geodesic Racing, Hydro Race Geodesic Racing. I don't know whether anybody in here knows Vincent from Wheelie Bins Mayhem Republic, who races the V8s in our V8 ESC leagues. But he's also joined the party, so we're doing...
Mr. Skillbeck.
Mr. Skillbeck, yep, sorry, yeah. So I don't know...
I do know him.
Yeah, alright, cool, that's good. The team name is going to be beyond the ability to capture it in the amount of characters that you've got, because we've got that many people contributing, but it's going to be great. It's going to be good fun. We're racing 3 cars, I think, in the 24, and it's going to be hilarious.
Wow. Well, that will be exciting, and there's some fine drivers out there. I mean, if you're going to team up with people,
I know, yeah, Spectre and
that's
Gio
not bad people to be
wheelies.
teaming up with, is it? So you know. Well, good luck on that. That's exciting, and I love the endurance racing. There's nothing like it. It's truly the most profound bit of sim racing. It's the only one that can drive people to despair.
Yeah, too right. Have you done much enduro racing, Craig, over the years? I'm sure you must have done.
I actually haven't.
No.
Again, my teammates have been knocking on my door for every single event to go out and do one, and I just never have. I've never really seen the attraction in it, to be honest.
All right.
But you know, like I said, I've got a second go, so let's see what happens from now on, and maybe I'll give it a crack.
Yeah, never say never now. And this is a battle for the very top of the points here. This is for the lead. Spencer and Jamie Jeffrey, and that is Lucky Wookie Walker joining the back of the queue.
Oh my word, that's a bit intimate.
Isn't it just? Fantastic car control from these three and such fair racing. They're so fast, absolutely so fast. All three of them in 133.4.5.1. There's nothing really between them on that last lap, and we need to keep an eye on this boy. So this is Miguel Freitas. He is the most northerly of the cars that have pitted. He's currently in 11th place, and we need to find out where Spencer, Jamie, Stephen, JB and Jay Corley will come out in relation to him, relative to him after all this. Just behind him there was the first man in the pits, Sam Blees. So there's going to be some good racing still to come from this. These three still going strong here at the front. 3 Elantras, 4 Elantras really with JB. And then they are split up by Jay Corley, who's doing a great job again, Alan.
Yeah, well, do you know what? He's very quietly finding and establishing himself in the top 5 here, isn't he? And he's just quietly moving through the field, and I don't know about this guy. I don't know anything about him, but he's clearly got a lot of pace and he's reliable.
Yeah,
because he's catching up with people, and who were really very quick.
Yeah, and he's got more than his fair share of I rating as well. He's 3.8k, so he's not shabby.
No, well, that's kind of where you need to be, though, isn't it, Pete, with this lot?
Yeah, the average I rating when we started the league for pro was 4.4k. Anybody over 3k plus Jamie Jeffrey, who we're looking at, because he doesn't race officials, he only races leagues, so we had to bypass the rules that we'd set for ourselves for him, because otherwise he would have been just absolutely destroying AM class. I don't know where your I rating sits, Craig.
I would rather not say.
Okay, yours is like mine then, that's fine. Oh, here we go. So this is Fiona defending a position. She still owes a pit stop, whereas Tony Walker, who's going around the outside. Tony Walker's going around the outside. That's lovely. Nicely done, both of you.
Oh, beautiful.
He has pitted, so nice overtake though. Love it. Fiona always stays
Every holding
out.
their line. Yeah, try and hold their lines. People do their best, don't they?
Yeah.
It's one of the hallmarks of the league, that people really do try and hold their lines. And because we want to see this kind of close, fair racing, and it's the only way you get it.
Absolutely right.
People need to be reliable.
Reliable, predictable, safe racing. Right, back at the front here. Stephen Walker's not managed to do anything with Jamie Jeffrey yet. Now, he may just wait and do it in the pits, because they can't be that far away from a pit stop. We are at the halfway point in this race, 20 minutes in. Oh, Craig, no pressure, but because you're in the booth... Oh! Going to have to watch that one again maybe later and see if there was any movement in the braking zone, because that's not allowed. No pressure, Craig, but because you're in the booth, you also have to provide a vote for driver of the meeting. So I hope you've been paying attention.
Okay, yeah, no problem.
Yeah, good fun. You just have to try and remember what people have done.
Yes, which is harder than it sounds. Right, let's have a look back here because it's getting a bit tasty back here in two little groups as they... Oh, right, so Fiona's gone wide there. She's allowed these two to race and come through. It's nicely done, actually. Very nice control from Fiona there. We've got a few visitors to pit road. You can see them in your timing tower. Miguel Freitas just posted the fastest lap of the race. He's in clean air and he's just on 1:33.11. That's faster than virtually everybody around him.
We've seen this, haven't we?
Yes.
With Miguel, we've seen him do early pit and then
monsters the lap time.
Punishing lap after lap. So consistent.
Ooh, right.
Crikey.
Kind of a light blue on dark blue, if you take my point. That was work guard on a safeguard car. And Russell Cowell trying to keep in there. I think he's lacking practice.
Russell and Roger, that's a close one to call. I don't know how you would call this. I really don't. But I'm sure they're enjoying it because both experienced drivers, and you can see that they've got that trust in each other.
Yep.
Because they can race close and they know that they can rely on the other bloke, and that's the joy of this league. We get so much great racing because of that, just basic trust between the drivers. So they're free to actually hang it out a little bit because they know the other guy won't go and do something stupid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is just a brilliantly matured league now, with a solid community that sits behind it. Kevin Daniels to pit road. I don't think he's fixing anything, Davey. I think he's in for a scheduled stop there. He's doing really well, actually. And we've still got Flashy, and Carl Hardy together. We've still got Roger Morton and Russell Cowell together. And Fiona has broken with tradition and has pitted earlier than normal. So this is interesting. Different strategy. We'll have to talk to her about that. At the front, no real changes other than Stephen Walker's still playing with his food, really.
JB's still hanging on very well.
This
is nice to see. His pace is really very good. He's lost 3 seconds to these chaps. Well, losing 3 seconds to this lot is no shame at all.
Yeah, and that's in 23 minutes of racing.
And
very impressive.
It's very secure. His laps are very secure, aren't they? We've seen no issues. He's not coming up as we're having problems. It's not. We're not getting him in the pits. He's not showing for flags or anything. Very, very secure driving by JB.
Right, so this is the view back from Jamie Jeffrey's car, and that is Stephen Walker there. He's not really made any genuine attempts to get past.
He's shown himself a little bit, hasn't he? He's just showing his prow a little bit. But,
just letting him know he's there, but that's about all.
These are both thinking drivers that they will... I don't think Stephen's in any great rush.
No, and this is what... this is about the level of stress of Jamie Jeffrey. Can't see the sweat on him, can you?
No.
No.
I'm sure it's happening to some extent, though.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah,
expect
I hope
yeah.
so. I hope so.
Easier to chase and be chased. Let's put it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I hate the very rare occasions where I'm actually in front of somebody.
Itching around here to get chased, that's for sure.
So round again we go. These guys not bothering to pit. Let's go and have a look at what's going on. Oh no, we'll leave that one for a minute. This is a bit, well, a lot closer. That's a good run he's got now, Stephen Walker. Surely he's got to do something with this. Jamie goes defensive.
He's going to have inside line. It's a tight bend.
Yeah, and Jamie's got that one nailed. He's going to come. Oh, I thought he was going to come across the front of him. He didn't.
Well, he's plenty of width there. This is a wide run out, so very difficult to defend.
A little bit of touchy, inappropriate touching there, and Jamie manages to fend off the attentions of Lucky Wookie Walker there.
That's very well done by Jamie. That is not an easy bit of track to defend on. It's wide, and Stephen got a good apex from the corner, so he did well to keep him back.
Yeah, you can see Spencer in the foreground there, the race leader at the moment, ticking off the laps, getting the points. These two not that far behind, 2.4 seconds from Stephen Walker there, slightly less from Jamie Jeffrey.
Well, Spencer will be well aware that these two are scrapping behind him, and he's just going to...
He'll be loving it. What he should be...
He won't be minding, will he?
No, he should be very worried about this boy, though. Out in clean air, ticking off super fast laps. Miguel Freitas may well be the favourite for this. He pitted early.
We've seen him do it before.
Yep, he's a danger. He's a danger to the rest of the field when he does this. Is this exciting enough for you, Craig?
There's been some moments there. I've commentated every night this week. And,
oh, right.
I'm going to say it again. Like, I'm meant to be keeping my heart rate down. And some of this racing isn't helping.
Oh, Kevin Daniels here. He's down 8 places from the start.
He's out of place, and we know he's fast.
Yep.
He'll be looking to get past these two, but they will be reluctant, and they're very experienced drivers. So interesting to see if he could actually pull that off.
He's got Russell Cowell in front of him, who I can personally vouch for how annoying he can be. On defensive lines into corners, just like he's done there.
Just like there, yeah.
It's like a rolling roadblock.
That was...
oh, here we go.
Very...
No.
No.
That was just a pantomime, I think. I don't think he's going to get a cut back. Oh, he is. Is he?
Oh!
That's using all the track.
Yeah. I don't know which tracks he's using all of.
He's making a serious...
Oh, look at this.
There, isn't he?
Yeah. Oh,
this is great driving by the pair of them. My word.
Oh, everybody's out of shape. What's Jamie going to do here? He can't come across the track now. He's going to have to stay on that racing line on the left.
Oh, that was brilliant.
Oh, right. So slow down for unlucky Wookie Walker. That's the only reason he'd have come out of the gas like that. Yeah.
That was brilliant. Respectful driving between both of them. That was really good. Really good to see.
Yeah. Unbelievably, we've got 7 cars that have still not pitted. The first 7 on your screens down to David Corpus have not pitted. So there's still a whole load of stuff that we don't know about yet in this race. As Kevin Daniels decides Russell Cowell's been there long enough. It's down the inside, nice overtake. That's lovely. Oh, no, it's not.
Oh.
Right, so is Russell going to wait, or... I think he tried to wait for a second. And what we don't get to hear is when they say, no, just keep racing, it was fine. Let's have another look at that. Right, so he's alongside. He's got enough of his car alongside at least. Comes through the corner and then...
Oh,
Yeah.
just caught the edge of it. Racing incident all the way. It's just
it is. I think. We've got some pit stops going on, so I'll go back live. A bit of that and a bit of. I'm not sure that Russell needed to keep in the gas too much once it started, but I don't know. Sometimes they like to try and straighten each other up and things like that. So we'll see how that works its way loose by the end of it. We've had David Corpus in, and we've had Stephen Walker in. Stephen Walker's rejoining now.
Oh, there's Miguel.
Well, there's a lot of cars. Actually, Miguel and Sam Blees are both in front of Stephen Walker, which would suggest that Spencer needs to put in some blistering laps right now in order to maintain this that he has at the moment, which is the lead of the race.
Well, I do think he's been trying, hasn't he? Because he's had the scrap going on behind him, so he's been well aware of that. And I'm sure he's had his foot to the metal because he'll also be well aware of Miguel.
Yes. We're on board with Jamie Wilson at the minute, chasing down Jake Corley.
Doing everything he can to avoid it. But
yeah.
as he got the basic pace, he wasn't quick in quali.
No.
By his own lights. You know, by his own lights. He hasn't been quick. He wasn't, by his own lights, as quick last week either. He hasn't quite found his rhythm yet, I don't think, this season.
Two lovely lines into pit road, and that's everybody in. Everybody is in that hasn't already pitted. Pit road is suddenly a busy place to be. And where is Miguel? There is Miguel. Is Miguel about to sail past everybody in pit road and take the lead of this race? Where's Spencer? There is Spencer.
There.
Right,
Oh,
race is on. The race is on.
Oh,
You can't get any closer than that. Oh.
there you go, Craig.
That is, that's brilliant. That is,
Isn't it?
exactly what we wanted to see. A little bit of spice for the end of the race.
Too right.
Yeah.
Too right. Now, there's no tyre advantage, obviously. We don't do tyres. The tyres on TCRs these days last for an eternity. I wonder what would have happened, Alan, if Wobbly was still in. With a working wheel. I think that would have been ridiculous.
No. Any 3 for 5. These
yeah.
top drivers and yeah.
Right.
Well, this is the first head-to-head we've had with Miguel and Spencer this season.
Oh, my word. Yes, it is the first head-to-head we've had. It'll be interesting to see what comes from it. There's battles everywhere all of a sudden because everybody's left pit road.
You can see that, the slippery track, I think, that was mentioned before, I think has had an effect. We've seen it, haven't we? That there's an awful lot of sideways with these cars at the moment. And I think a lot of that is down to the track, catching people out.
Something happened with Sam Blees here. Slow down. Slow down.
Oh, that's okay. We can live with the slow down.
Yeah. And then Jamie got a bit of a wriggle on. Don't know what that was. I think he was saying thanks by doing some steering. I wouldn't be doing that. I can barely steer the damn thing in a straight line in the first place. Right, let's go back live. And there's chaos ensuing around here now. So Tony Walker, Sam Blees and Flashy Elmore are all together now. Sam Blees has dropped quite a long way back from where he was. It's certainly going to make the standings interesting. 6 minutes to go. And Sam Blees is in 7th place, Alan.
Yes.
Unusual.
Yes, well, he won't be happy about that, but he might well not finish there.
Yes. He's got the leading AM class driver in front of him. No, he hasn't. JB's in 4th still.
Yeah, JB's.
Good effort.
I know. I've been keeping an eye on him. He's doing fantastically well.
Yeah, that's
remarkable
from an AM driver to be that high up.
Jamie's catching him up.
Oh, that's a lot of curb.
Oh! So yeah, I think that's there's a bit of pressure coming from Jamie. He just needs to keep it together. He's been doing so well. It would be lovely if he could come in, keep hold of his 4th place.
Definitely. What's Spencer doing with Miguel? He's just under half a second behind him at the moment, and really giving it some welly at the moment. I don't know whether Miguel has to fuel save. He pitted so early. There may be some of that in this, because here
He's done
comes
that before
Spencer.
as well, hasn't he?
He has, yeah.
Yes.
He's got
well
previous.
remembered. Yes. He has done that before and left himself short to be light. So, now, he doesn't need to be fuel saving trying to stave off Spencer McCarthy, because that's not a good idea.
No. It's a recipe to get yourself in 2nd place pretty damn quick. This is what a serious Spencer McCarthy looks like. There he is. See the sweat on him. You can see it.
Oh, yeah, well, it's the lack of sweat that worries me. The effortlessness of it all.
Yeah. He's dropped back a ways a minute. It's a bit like a concertina effect. Sam Blease has made his way through on Tony Walker, and Flashy is on his own teammate now. Just here.
Well, Sam has, it doesn't surprise me he got past Tony. Tony's at the top of the amateur ranks, but he's an amateur at the end of the day, and Sam's a top pro. But he's not going to get past Jamie so easily, so readily. He's got to catch him up, and getting past Jamie Jeffries is a different kettle of fish entirely.
Absolutely, and sadly, Tom Woodcock is out of this race, which means there's going to be a bit of a change, a significant change at the top of the AM class.
Yes, but it won't. I don't think it will be terminal.
No, definitely not.
We've got no terminal situations yet, so
no.
And the guys are doing so well. They've got to be encouraged. The performances they've turned in this season have been fantastic. So they've got to be riding high and full of confidence, and deservedly so.
Yeah, that was flashy on Tony Walker. He's got that job done. Tony's coming back at him a little, and behind them, Jamie. Oh, right, Jake Corley has got to slow down. That's why he was well out of it there.
Some of the slowdowns have been wicked just recently. They're a lot more punitive than they used to be. Have you noticed?
Yep.
They're
pretty brutal.
I think I've encountered a couple of 3.5 second slowdowns, and they are fierce. You have to slow down something seriously to wear them out. So I don't know I don't know why iRacing have got it in for me, really, to be honest.
So Miguel has decided he's got enough fuel to get to the end now. He's extended his lead out to 1.1 seconds.
Now this is interesting, because I think Spencer's still a bit challenged on his basic pace. He hasn't found his true pace yet.
Well, he only rebuilt his rig 2 weeks ago, so...
Yeah, well, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, who's that with a massive slow? Oh, it's Chris Needham. He's letting the field go. He's a lap down. Well done, Chris. Previous champion, Chris Needham. And here's Jamie Jeffrey getting through on JB.
Well, JB's really driving brilliantly, but Jamie's just a different level at the moment.
Yeah, and unfortunately for JB, Sam Blease is in contact with him, and I think we're on the last lap. Yes, we are on the last lap. We're on white flag already. That crept up on me again.
So, that means Jamie got by JB just he could just hold on for another lap.
I know.
What a shame. But there you go. That's still an outstanding performance. If he can come in 5th, I mean, goodness, that would be fantastic.
Absolutely, and there goes Miguel to cross the line and take the... Oh, does he? Yeah, has he taken the victory? Is there a checkered flag? No, that's white flag. Sorry, we're on the last lap now.
Yes,
So,
it's 39 seconds.
yeah, he's just got across the line with
Minutes,
7 seconds to spare or something.
Yeah, we've got time.
Right,
I don't
so
think I'll make it. Well, that's that might not be good news for JB.
no, sadly. So
That
JB
looks like a very eager Sam.
It does. JB's gone defensive, and that's clean. He made his intentions perfectly clear, but what it doesn't stop is Sam Blease going round the outside.
Oh,
My word.
well, there's no defending against that.
No, it's impossible.
Not legally, anyway.
Can you?
And
Is that
JB's not too much of a gentleman.
Yeah, is that how you'd race that, Craig? Is it?
I would go. I would definitely go with the illegal option that Alan was talking about.
Yeah.
That's the only thing you can do, really.
Yeah. Well, we have quality drivers, and it's a delight to watch them race. But you need quality drivers for them to race against.
Yes.
And you don't get great overtaking unless you've got great people trying to resist those overtakes.
Exactly that.
But they're blessed. Look at that.
We saw Carl Hardy recently overtake Jamie Wilson. I think Jamie's front tyres have given up on him a bit. This is David Corpus, well out of position really from where he's normally racing. He's in 13th, down 9 places from the start. He had a bit of a rough start to the race. Missed the very end there. Miguel and Spencer over the line. I've got 2 engrossed in what was happening with the battles further back.
Yeah, another fantastic performance by Miguel.
It was.
Another one of those just incredible drives, wasn't it? You know, he came in early and took the ball by the horns and just did lap after lap of lightning, consistent pace, and everything fell into place in front of him.
It did.
Magnificent, really.
Arnaud Chenonnier doing his usual, hooning it on the cool down lap. Andy Littler coming over the line.
Well done, Andy.
Well, he will be in a minute anyway, and that's Fiona in the background there, still finishing off their laps.
Only plus 42 seconds.
Yeah, you've got to say that's a good result for the pair of them. They're going to finish on lead lap.
On lead lap. Fantastic. That takes some doing, you know. 40 minutes to finish on the lead lap with these chaps, with Miguel and Spencer turning those kinds of speeds. That's you have to be reliably consistent.
Absolutely. Clearly Fiona's had a good time because she's flashing her lights.
She's just done that to cheer you up, I think.
I think so, yeah. It's the only acceptable time that you can flash your lights in my rule book. As you cross the line where you can't.
Well, I'm going to take this opportunity to go and refresh my.
I think you should. In fact, I think I might do the same thing with my stout. Oh dear. So, Craig, have you been given any specific instructions from the medical experts?
About driving, no.
Right. Okay.
I did ask, but they couldn't give. No, there's no specific instructions other than what you're both just reminded me of, that I can't drink alcohol. Really.
Oh, devastating.
Yeah. Thanks for that.
That's all right.
That's really cheered me up.
You're welcome. Right, I'll get through the standings. You're more than welcome to join us in the booth anytime you wish to. If you've enjoyed yourself tonight, then why not, you know?
Yes, thank you very much.
Cool. Right, so round 10 finished thusly. Your winner was Miguel Freitas. He didn't win by much, just 1.2 seconds over Spencer McCarthy. So Miguel for Impulse Racing there, all the points in the parlour. Spencer McCarthy, second place for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing, and then third place on the podium, Stephen Walker. In third there for Spectre 6. Great results from all 3 of them. Jamie Jeffrey just outside that podium for Coupes and Convertibles Racing in fourth. Fifth was Sam Blease for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing. Got one over on JB on that last lap there, who finished 6th for BSTV Esports Pink. Tony Walker finished 7th for Spectre 6, and his teammate Flashy Elmore finished in 8th place. JB being the topmost AM driver in that race and led the race for a while there. Tony Walker 2nd. Both of them getting great points for their AM championship hopes. Carl Hardy finished 9th for Safeguard by Result, with Jamie Wilson in 10th for Team Chimera, and Jay Corley in 11th with Roger Morton behind him in 12th place for Safeguard. David Corpus 13th for Lurch's Academy. Kevin Daniels managed to get both races done without wrecking his car in 14th for Sim Racing Grid. I'm sure David E's absolutely elated. He's already saying good race on the chat. Russell Cowell, we're racing, finished 15th for Spectre Solo as Sir Alan rejoins us with his whiskey. Aikaleku finished 16th for Lurch's Academy. 17th was David Johansson for Sim Racing Grid, with Arnaud Chenonnier 18th for Air Smart Racing. 19th was Kylie Haddington for Air Smart Racing. Andy Littler finished 20th for Work Guard. His teammate Fiona finished in 21st behind him. We saw that happen. Chris Needham 1 lap down in 22nd for Air Smart Racing. And then Tom Woodcock did not finish. Pete Van Gool did not finish. Mark Draper did not finish. Marcel Frick did not finish, but they were classified 23rd, 4th, 5th and 6th. Wobbly Kneecaps did not run. How ironic that is, because he was running a 30-odd bazillion mile marathon at some point recently. But yes, he didn't run. What a dramatic pair of races. That was just too good, in my opinion. I've got a few buttons to click. Any standout moments for yourself, Alan?
Oh, Miguel, as usual, I think you picked up on it early, and it's just another one of those outstanding performances by him. And yeah, I take my hat off to him. He does that time after time. Such a fantastic driver and lovely man. Great to see Spencer up there on the podium and starting to look a bit shinier, because fantastic driver, and we always want to see him do well, and we always want to see him being on top form and performing to his best.
Yep. Yeah.
And the same to see Stephen up there as well. It's great, isn't it? And we've got this fantastic mixture of past champions and new people coming in, and a huge fizz on of excitement at the top there, because there's no calling who's going to win these races now.
Yeah, absolutely. And yourself, Craig, any standout moments for you?
I think overall the racing was really good. It's not a format of racing that I'm used to seeing. I'm much more into sort of the sprint races. But I think it's the league clearly passes the officials test as I call it. It's clear when you're watching the stream. You're not watching official racing. It's clean. It's respectful. It's brilliant to watch, and there's been some fantastic overtakes. There really has, and some really good defending, which is equally as a talent in itself. So yeah, great job by everyone, I think.
Yeah, well said. Right then, we go into the phase of our night, which is the interviews. Why is my
It's my chance. I'm still on my guest whiskey, Pete.
Oh, you really? Right, excellent.
Oh yeah. I saved it for Wednesday nights.
Oh, very good, very good. Right, who won the first race again? Stephen Walker. Right, okay. Right, let's start in a bit of order here. So we'll bring in to the booth multiple champion of these leagues, Stephen Walker. Good evening.
Hello there.
Hello. Was it the lucky Walker underpants tonight? It must have been, seeing as you got a first and a third out of it.
Yeah, I'll take that. That was my best performance for quite some time, if we're being perfectly honest. I enjoyed the first race. Miguel was right with me. I don't know what happened towards the end of the first race. It suddenly went from like 0.4 of a second to over a second.
Mm-hmm.
So the last few laps were a bit easier than I was expecting them to be, but I still had to obviously stay there and not mess up and get the slowdown in the first corner. So yeah, I'll take that as I don't know if it's my first win this season or whatever. I can't remember, but
we think it is, but we're not convinced of it.
Yeah, it's not gone very well this season at all. So yeah, it was really good. The car felt great. I really, I really dislike this track quite a lot. So I was just happy to be close to the guys. I wasn't expecting pole position either.
No, you did great to pull that pole out, Stephen. That was fantastic.
Yeah, that was impressive. What do you put that additional speed around this track down to? Is this the type of track that you excel at, the tight and the twisty and the very, very highly technical?
Yeah, I guess so. The less you have to rely on draft, and the more actual. There's quite a few heavy braking zones which I'm pretty good in, and yeah, quite technical. I normally struggle in the last sector, in the stadium sector, over the years, but um, on iRacing and in the TCR, it's not easy, obviously, but I just find it flows quite well. So it must just suit my driving style. I wasn't expecting, I can say, to be as quick as the others, Sam and Miguel and Wobbly.
I think it's just because you don't like the place, so you want the races to be over really quickly.
Yeah, there's that as well. There's that as well. Yeah, race 2, I managed to stay out of trouble. I got a decent start. Um, I think I overtook 2 cars around the outside, but within track limits. As I was making my way through, I was quite proud of that. But I'm not streaming my races in case my computer crashes, because I don't know what my issue is, but I'm just not going to risk it. So
Right. Okay.
that was, I think, at the start of lap 6, but I was quite. I remember going into the braking zone in the next corner, going, I really enjoyed that move. Yeah, and then I got up to, I think, 3rd. Spencer got past Jamie Jeffrey, and Jamie and I were having
Yeah.
this like epic battle for about 5, 6, maybe about 10 laps. Actually, I don't know how long it was for. It felt like forever, but it was a lot of fun. But it cost me ultimately the chance to at least come out the pits with Miguel and Spencer, because I was costing myself time. Then I got a slowdown, and then when I did pit, I just missed. I just stopped a bit too far back, so I had to move forward. So the less fuel I put in to save time went out the window. So I'll take a 3rd. Like I say, I wasn't expecting, and with the big grid, reverse grid as well, it can go either way. And this is the first time I think I've actually had a successful race. I think
Yeah,
it was.
you've been caught up a few times in other people's issues.
Yeah.
So maybe it's time those lucky underpants started paying off for you. You need to stop lending them to your brother, because he's doing really well, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's
I have to start charging him.
yeah, rental on underpants. Yeah. So yeah, he's bossing the AMs at the minute, isn't he? He's got Tom Woodcock for company, but Tom didn't have a very good race too tonight. So I think your brother's doing all right up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, JB had a good race, didn't
He
he?
did,
So,
yeah. That was
fantastic
excellent.
race.
Yeah.
that was good fun. Yeah, overall, team-wise, it seemed quite well. I'm quite happy with how it went. Yeah, for once, it's not like me to be happy, but I'll take that. A bit gutted. I probably could have been closer to the front at the end of the second race, but it was my fault for getting caught up in racing rather than thinking strategically, because there was a gap for me to pit in, but I'd noticed about 3 laps too late, and by then I was just enjoying racing with Jamie.
That sounds fair enough to me.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're here for, racing, isn't it? So
Yeah,
we're
absolutely.
racing.
So fantastic racing tonight. We saw some round the outside. Well, we're watching one at the minute actually. Around the outside moves on quite a lot of drivers. To be honest, it's definitely a car in line round that outside on some of these turns, and you monstered it pretty well. Hopefully you're going to take some absolute positivity away from that and translate it into some victories in the Daytona, seeing as you're joining BSTV, Geodesic and Wheelie Bins Mayhem Republic in a community social for that one. So let's take that forward. We'll bring your underpants and everything else that you got, rabbit's feet and all sorts. Anybody you want to have a shout out to before we let you go and start some practice either for Daytona or for Silverstone Legacy Track from 2008, which is the next one for this calendar?
Well, I've got a week off next week, so I might bother to do some practice. I only did one practice session for this race. I literally just used the same setup I used at Daytona for this race, so whatever. But yeah, just thanks to you guys, obviously, for putting it on. Everyone that keeps showing up and having fun. It is a difficult track to overtake and race quite close to each other on here, so just remember that. And I think next week might be quite similar as well. So just remember to leave. You always gotta leave it a space.
You do always gotta
Um,
leave it a space.
yeah, and
Yeah.
the rest of my team I think everyone had a good showing. And well done to Miguel for winning the second race. Spencer, Sam, usual suspects. So
Mm.
yeah, no, cheers guys. Thank you very much.
No, excellent stuff, and we
Thank
will
you.
look. Yeah.
Yeah.
We will look forward to seeing you racing at Silverstone next time out in this league, and I'll see you at the weekend probably. I'll be the one that's dead in a ditch in the Raw.
No, that'll be me.
Well, I hope not, and
Yeah.
we'll see you next time. Multiple previous champion, and hoping to get back on that top step even again. Stephen Walker.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
No.
Taters.
Jesus.
I think you should have a bit more confidence in your Daytona prospects. I think
You
you're going to
reckon?
do very well. Yeah, you'll be uplifted by the people around you and probably turn in the performance of a lifetime.
I don't know about that, mate. I think Daytona's going to absolutely muller me like it's done every time I've ever gone there before. Anyway, moving on to the second of tonight's interviews. He did fantastically well. He's got a second place in the first race and quite hard fought for, and he put a good lot of pressure on Stephen Walker. And he's got himself a win in the second race. Miguel Freitas, good evening.
Hello.
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 Back to winning ways. It's been a little while. You've been caught up in a lot of other people's incidents. You got McCarthy last time out at Daytona, but you kept away from them all. You made sure you pitted your car so you weren't near anybody, and you got yourself a victory. You got yourself a second place. You got yourself a bag full of points. What a fantastic performance tonight.
Yeah, thank you. But I still have an incident today.
You do?
I collected damage right away on
Oh
the
no, we
second
saw that.
race.
We saw that. There was a bit of shunting going on. Was it Russell Cowell? No, it wasn't Russell Cowell. It was somebody who was very, very slow into a corner, and you didn't expect it. I think by the look of your car.
Yeah, I think it was David. He was like
David.
trying to regain control of the car, and basically he hit like 4 cars in that small straight.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
But yeah, I gave him a little tap on the corner entry, and I had wheel damage for that. So it was frustrating.
I think you probably had a bit of radiator damage as well because the front of your car looked properly caved in there. But you managed to survive that. You did what you should do, and you pitted the car straight away. Got yourself a fast repair, a full tank of fuel, and managed to last out from lap 4 to the very end. Was there a lot of fuel saving, or did you not need to fuel save at all around here?
Yeah, I had to fuel save a bit. I was very surprised when I got out of the pit when everyone pitted and I was in first because I was saving every lap a little bit in 2 or 3 corners. So yeah, I was a little bit surprised by that because on the first race people were showing a very good pace. Then on the second race somehow I ended up in first. I'm still not sure what happened.
I can tell you what happened. You did the fastest lap of the race whilst fuel saving.
Okay.
I'm not joking. I'm not joking. You did 133.11 whilst you were fuel saving.
Okay, I'll take that.
Is this still wobbly setup?
No.
Right. Okay.
This was not from wobbly.
Right.
Oh, thank heavens. Couldn't stand that, could we? Goodness me.
No. Couldn't stand wobbly getting any kind of thanks for anything, to be honest. But fantastic racing. Are you going to be in the Raw at the weekend?
Yes, I will do the broadcasted race. I will try to make it to the top slate.
Cool.
I don't know if it will be possible, but yeah, I will try it.
With an I rating of 6.4k, I think you will. Although you're right, there's some crazy I-rated people turn up for that race, and sometimes that top split can be a bit of like crash fest, really, can't it?
Yeah, it's usually not the funnest one around, but yeah. Last season I only managed to get split 2.
Right.
Probably this season will be the same, but yeah. Hopefully, if I make it to split 1, I will be very happy, and I just hope to survive until the end.
Yeah, well, I'm probably going to crash out after lap 1, so I'll come and watch whatever whatever race you're in. Fantastic watching you race tonight. Next time out, we're at the Champions Choice track of Silverstone Legacy. I like it. I like that little loop of a track. It's very exciting when you get this many cars around it. Hopefully you remember it, because everybody's driven that version of Silverstone at some point. Anybody you want to shout out to before we let you go and celebrate? Because you've probably been the most successful driver tonight, given both your results.
Yeah, shout out to you guys and everyone racing, but especially to Steve Walker, that had amazing pace tonight. I don't know what happened in race 2 to him, but he was probably the fastest around.
Right? Yeah,
that's nice
fantastic.
of you.
Yeah, very well said.
Yeah, it's very nice. And, we really wish you well at the weekend, Miguel. And I hope you get the result you want to get, because you deserve it, mate. You're a fantastic driver, and you're a great representative of sim racing.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I'll second all of that. And we will look forward to seeing you in this league again, this time next week at Silverstone 2008 version, Champions Choice track. Miguel Freitas, everybody.
See you.
Good night.
Cool. Right, next up, we need to get... Where did Spencer finish in the first one? No, we're going to go David Johansson. So we'll drag David into the booth next. Good evening, David Johansson.
Hello.
Hello. So, where were you in the first one? Was it second? Third.
Third.
Third in the first race. Nice and competitive. Lots and lots of pace. And then right at the start of the second race, it all came
Chaos.
apart.
Chaos. I felt like a pinball.
Yeah, you were
holy shit.
Getting beaten up all over the place by various people around you. Talk about your first race first, because we might have to pretend that the second race didn't exist.
I feel like I can do that.
You had very good pace in that Elantra tonight.
Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah. How had you done much practice for this one?
Like normal, I would say, not more than normal. So.
Okay. Well, third place is a brilliant result given the field that you're up against. And in the second race, we saw you visit pit road twice quite early on. One was it a stop and go?
No, the first one was because I had a meatball, but I didn't even had a 4X during that first lap. So I was okay. The car felt all over the place. So okay, I need to pit. But then when I stopped, I was too quick out of the pit, so the damage didn't repair. I was like so stressed, and I was like, okay, let's just stop, and if it's a fast repair, it's gonna get fixed. And it was like, nope.
David, that's so unfortunate.
Yeah. So then I did 2 more laps because the car it was drivable, but not quick, obviously.
Yeah.
And then I just had to fuel save like crazy to even get to the line, and then even sputtered in the last corner.
Right. Okay. Well, we'll pick up Hockenheimring National B, and we'll make it into a little paper ball, and we'll throw it in a bin and forget that this one ever happened. And we'll hope for better fortunes at Silverstone next week. Are you doing the Raw this weekend?
Don't think so. I got a league race on Saturday, so we'll see how I feel on Sunday if I do it.
Right, fair enough. In that case, anybody you want to shout out to celebrate your third place finish in race 1, and of course we'll pretend like race 2 never happened.
Yeah, well, thanks everybody for hitting me on lap 1, the race 2.
Yeah. Brilliant.
That's it.
Fair enough. Those people are going straight to hell. And we will wish you the very best for your races at the weekend, and we'll see you with us this time next week. David Johansson, everybody.
Thank you.
Well done, David.
Right. We shall move on to Who do we want? Yeah, we do. We want a little bit of Spencer McCarthy. Good evening, Spencer.
Good evening.
Evening. So first race out was 6th place, right in the thick of all of the fighting and the door banging and all the other stuff that was going on. Quite a hard fought 6th place, to be honest, wasn't it?
Yeah, Stephen Walker, very disappointed for the evening. It took me ages to get the car working. Almost, it was like the thing just wouldn't do what I expected. Whether I drove it too hard in the first couple of laps trying to get somewhere, and then that just ended up me going backwards. I got a slow down. I then got just a random rear end slide. So, and every time I kind of then got like a gap to Carl by a second, all of a sudden it was gone again. And yeah, I had a bit of kind of pinned Carl to the grass at one point, and probably felt a little bit bad afterwards. And then thought, well, that's Carl, that's fine.
Yeah, not bad enough to give the position back.
I didn't take the position. I just didn't let him.
I see.
If he wanted to have the inside that badly, he had to go very inside. It was one of them.
Fair enough.
But yeah. And then once I got the car in the right direction, it was kind of right. Yeah, just got my head down and then started catching Jamie Jeffrey and Sam a little bit. I got the fastest lap, I think, in the first race, 33.1.
Yep.
So from sort of nowhere, then all of a sudden doing that, and then I don't know. It was tricky track to gel with tonight. Carl was just a little bit weird. I'm still obviously feeling rusty, but I'm not. It's not really. I shouldn't be anymore. But yeah, second race kind of turned it around a bit. I think you saw a little flash of the form of Mr. McCarthy with a few overtakes.
Yeah.
Yes, we did. And, I'm glad to see it as well, Spencer. Very glad to see it.
Cheers,
we know where you belong, and we know the kind of driver you are, mate. So yeah, it's just we're patient.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
One going into the stadium complex, I sort of went from sort of right to left and went up the inside. That was very close.
We saw that. That was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Timed quite well, but any later that would have been a big accident. But managed to pull that one off. And then obviously me and Jamie, I think every time he got one, he then gapped me a little bit, and then I caught him again, and then he got the next person, and I caught him again. It's a good little fight that as you come through the grid.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the end, it was like, me and Jamie at the front, and it was right. Let's see what we can do. I definitely had pace on him, and as the race was going on, I think his car was getting a little bit worse. So I just sort of stuck with it, and in the end, got a good run through T1. He then went to defend, and obviously just braked that a little bit too late, which then gave me the run I needed. It's very hard, even if you get a run. You can try and outbrake, or you can try and brake next to them. If you try and outbrake, you just can't get around the next corner. T2 is just like a Scrabble. And then you have to sort of cut back and then cut back again. And by the time you've done that, the other person's got to run again. So, it worked out that he obviously made a mistake there, and I just then got a run out that corner and got the run into the next corner. So, but it was a good one. It was good. Obviously tried to hang on to Miguel at the end there, but obviously he just had that little bit on me, and Carl was squirmy a bit. I thought at one point I could kind of start to kind of stick with him, using a bit of draft, but then he pulled out his Miguel style and pulled away.
Isn't it? But no, we were very happy to see Spencer McCarthy of old scything his way through the field, going round the outside of people, pinning people to the inside, and doing that dive at the Mercedes complex or whatever it was. That was just brilliant, and we had Craig Jones in the booth for most of the broadcast.
Oh, brilliant!
And he was just like, "That's just too good." So
it was like a hair's width from being very bad. That's how good it was.
But that's perfect, though, isn't it?
Right.
I know.
Perfect.
I
know.
Absolutely brilliant. I needed blood pressure pills with you tonight. It was funny. It's just too good to watch. Are you doing the Raw at the weekend?
If I get some time, obviously, the housework, the build's going on, so weekends are kind of quite busy at the moment. I might even not do the D24 this year, which that'll be the first year in about 4 or 5 years. I think I haven't done it. So maybe I'll do the Raw and not the 24 or something like that. We'll see.
Must be tough, Alan, to be a millionaire and get your house.
Yes, well,
Oh, God.
hard decisions to make, but
Yeah.
Spencer's the man to make them.
Isn't he just, yeah.
Oh God, yeah, okay. Yeah, felt okay before we started the build. I'm not sure where we're going to be at the end of it, but
Right, okay.
yeah.
Well, at McCarthy Towers, is there anybody you want to thank before we let you go and start practice for the Silverstone race?
Who do I want to thank? No one really.
Excellent.
Apart from myself.
Oh, great, yeah.
No, I don't know. Just whoever, anyone that wants to get a bit of thanks, I'm going to give it to them because I think, yeah, the world is a good place. Let's say that.
Awesome stuff.
We're all fun and we all have fun times. So
Yeah,
let's enjoy it.
we like that.
Yeah, we do. That's good.
Good to see you back up and working well and fitting well, Alan, yourself. So it was a while ago. I saw a picture in Discord of you sort of laying in a gown somewhere. But
Oh, that was a year. It's almost a year ago. It was last December previous, a year when I smashed my shoulder to pieces.
oh, right, okay. Well, don't do that again.
No, I won't. Well, I nearly died because I was I hit my head on the concrete outside when I was doing that. So it could have been a lot worse.
Well, the temperature's dropping, Alan, so don't venture outside
No, well,
for a
that
while.
would have been it would have seen me off last year. So
Yeah.
I'm glad I survived. And I'm in good fettle, my dear. Thank you very much for asking, though.
Good.
Yeah, we've nailed all his windows and doors shut, so he can't go anywhere.
Lovely.
All right, we will see you next time out then. Spencer McCarthy, everybody.
Thank you.
Good night.
Oh, cool. Right, okay, next. Let's see, who's next? It's going to be multiple previous champion, Sam Blees, everybody. Good evening.
Evening, guys.
Evening.
Evening, Sam.
So, a fourth in the first race. Seemed to lack a little bit of pace, but you were well in the thick of it, to be fair. And it was quite a jostle to do anything in terms of overtaking anybody, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's so hard to pass, and I still haven't figured this track out. So sometimes it felt like the car felt good in the first half, and then in the second half, but never quite at the same time. It was working okay in practice, and it was all right in qualifying, but I just couldn't get it hooked up in the race. And it's all a bit of a mystery, to be honest. I just can't, never quite got the hang of this. And that corner at the end of the back straight is just awful. It's the worst version of this track I have ever driven.
Well, for once you didn't vote for the worst track you've ever driven.
I can assure you I will never be voting for this track again.
You pitted quite early again.
Yep.
That didn't seem to do you as much good as it has done on previous tracks.
No, it turns out lap 2 was at least 2 laps too early to pit.
Right.
Because Miguel pitted on lap 4 and still had to save fuel.
Yeah.
So I just had to save lots and lots and lots of fuel.
Right.
But I made it.
Yeah. You still made a 5th place out of it, which is good. But we could tell that you were having a bit of a struggle. There was a bit of ping pong going on in that second race right at the very start as well. And I think
crazy,
it was just a bit bonkers. There's nothing absolutely nasty about any of it. It was just cars bumping around one another. You got man flu, by the way.
Yeah, I just got a bit of a cough. I'm all right.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, it was turn 2. It's such a weird corner because it's so wide going down there, and you've come through turn 1 quickly. So you often like 3, 4, 5 wide. I think we might have been at one point, and then there is only one. Like there's 2 sort of exit lines, but you have to get to the apex, or you just understeer off. So everybody wanted to hit the apex, and it just didn't work. And to be honest, I put my car in a stupid. Like I triggered some of it by nudging Spencer at the start.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to get alongside him. I just put my car in a daft place, and then by the time I was at the corner, I was like, "Oh dear, I'm gonna hit you."
Well, you signed up for a race, didn't you?
All right, yeah, I signed up for a race we were having, and it was fine. I don't think anyone came off too badly from it. It was just like you say, a bit of pinball and bumping at the start, but that's just what you get with it's just the track, the nature of the track. It always happens here.
Yeah, it does. and especially on this even tighter version of it. You're right. That's is it the second turn or is it the third? Who knows? The parabolic is in the middle of it, but that double right-hander, very sharp. As soon as the gravel gets you, you're done. So,
the other version, which just goes goes straight on, and then has that's a nice corner, but this is just awful because there's no clear marking on the inside or the outside, and there's no brake markers at all. So you've got to remember roughly how far away from the corner you have to brake, roughly how early you can turn in, and roughly how wide you can run. But if you get any one of those wrong, it's a 1X, it's a slow down, or you're in the gravel, and it's just awful, man. Compared to the other version, which is like 8 feet away and much nicer, I don't know why it even exists.
Well,
stupid track.
It does, and from mine and Alan's perspective, it was great fun.
Well, I'm sure it was good to watch.
It was an entertaining watch, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It was. Even dangerous. We could see it was dangerous, Sam, out there. It was slippery, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, it was no grip. It was hard work. And I didn't get the car dialed in, so I wasn't particularly happy driving around. Just go, why isn't it working? And, you just get in your head and you just get more and more angry with what's not what, and trying different things and just making stupid mistakes. But I had a decent. I mean, as Jamie came out the pits, I turned him. Like he went deep, and I turned in, and I turned him. So I waited for him, and I needed that like 10 seconds of not driving to save the fuel anyway. So I had quite a little bit of fun chasing him and passing JB, and then he tried to give it back on the line, but I ran out of fuel coming out the final corner, so he coasted to the line ahead of me.
Oh dear, I missed the.
Well, he deserved it.
Yeah, absolutely. Very entertaining from our position anyway, and not a bad show to be fair, given all that you've said. You know, a fourth and a fifth, still good.
Yeah, it was decent points. It was alright. Wobbly didn't score any, so that'll help as well.
I mean, that's a shame.
Yeah. I can see it. Oh dear. The sadness in your voice is hard for me to take.
Absolute sincerity I have for the sadness I feel that Wobbly didn't score any points.
Next time out, it's your choice, your champion's choice. It's Silverstone.
Indeed. Yeah, looking forward to that. That should be good fun.
Silverstone Legacy as well, not just Silverstone.
Yeah, it's the old school international track with
under the bridge.
Yeah, under the bridge corner, and you've got Abbey, and some of the bits that don't exist anymore in the current track. So that should be good.
No, we like it. It has been a popular track among our crowd. Actually, the Legacy. We've got some people who really like it a lot, and I've raced there in quite a few different cars. It's a fantastic circuit. I'm looking forward to it. Really am.
Yeah, it's I like it. I love it. I mean, that's why I picked it. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it should be good fun. Something a bit different, and it means we don't have to drive Bathurst, which
certainly a better choice than last year's.
Yeah, crash.
At least it's not.
I just can't do it. I can't do anything with walls. I'm dreading Long Beach at the end of the season.
East, was it? Cotus East, wasn't it?
Cotus West. Don't remember.
Yeah, Cotus West, was it?
Yeah. I think it would have been East, but East doesn't have a pit lane, and I was told that was too stupid.
Oh dear. I'd like to have seen it, mind. But yes, well, there's a lot of Daytona going on at the weekend, which I'm probably sure you're going to be part of.
Next 2 weekends, yep.
Next 2 weekends, that's true. And yeah, this time next week, Silverstone. Anybody you want to have a shout out to before we let you start your practice for your Champions Choice track?
I'm going to shout out to JB and Tony again for cracking drives. So I think 6th and 7th, but don't quote me on that. And to everyone for coming out, and to you guys for putting it on as always. It's always always fun to be here, and good to have a race with everybody. And yeah, I look forward to next week. Hopefully, I get on with the track a bit better. I'm sure I will.
Yeah,
well, it's your own fault.
Yeah. I only have myself to blame if I don't. To be fair.
Absolutely right. And we will see you next time out. And defending his title in brilliant form, Sam Blees, everybody.
Cheers, guys.
Well done, Sam.
Right then, next into the booth is going to be one Jamie of Wilson. Good evening.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Let me find you on track. I don't have to scroll down very far. So, first race. Where did you finish in the first race? 8th. That's pretty good.
No, I couldn't believe it.
Your qualifying was it not stellar? Can't remember.
Well,
what
it never is.
But I think it was
18th or something.
Yeah.
16th, 17th, something like that.
I remember looking up and having to wipe my eyeballs because I couldn't believe that you'd moved up 7 or 8 positions in the first 4 laps or something. You had that Veloster on a string, really, didn't you?
Yeah, it's good fun to throw it around. It's more fun to throw it around when you're in a pack 5 wide into a tight corner.
What the hell? That was a bit of a hair-raising experience to watch. And I don't know even what a spotter says when there's 5 cars wide, as we watch Carl Hardy bailing out on a corner on the replay in front of your car. That looked terrifying at points.
Terrifying is perhaps one view of it. I thought it was quite fun.
Mm-hmm.
Being in the thick of it. The bit that wasn't fun was Carl nearly breaking my wrist.
Oh, nice.
In race 2.
Did we
you
see
might not
that?
have seen it.
No, I don't think we saw that.
Yeah, it's just as I came out the pits side by side with Jay, which was very tight, and I had a bit of a moan up at Carl afterwards because in jest because I'd spent about 25 minutes driving the wheels off the damn car to try and catch Jay.
Yeah.
And I was catching him half a second this lap, 4/10, and it went down to 2/10, and it was a laboured chase down.
Yeah, because you pitted at the same time as him, didn't you?
Yeah, and then I managed to just about get ahead of him, and then within 30 seconds, Cole's bloody nudged me off down at the hairpin.
Right. Okay.
And it required a costume change, let's say, afterwards, because I didn't expect it. It really did make me jump.
Right. I see. Well, we were in the thick of watching Spencer coming out right behind Miguel at that point, so that makes...
Oh, everything happened at once at that time.
It
Because
really did,
I think Jamie Jeffrey had been turned around or something at the hairpin around that time as well. It was just,
Yeah, that was... it happens in every race, to be honest. The pit stop, that last round of pit stops makes everyone come back together.
I came out of a narrow pit lane side by side with someone with an inch to spare, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
As we came out, we had 2 cars coming on us at speed on our left. It was 4 wide. A yellow flag comes out. What's happening?
Oh dear, but that's what we tune in to BSTV.
Another relaxing evening's racing.
Yeah, nice chilled drive in the country. I don't know what everybody's complaining about. They signed up for a race. I'm not sure what the complaint is here. And then race 2 happened, and you finished in 10th. I said at one point he's in 8th. He's watched a whole load of cars go one way past him. He's watched a whole load of cars go the other way past him. And he's net 0 at the minute, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But it was you need to get paid by your sponsors quite a lot because you were on the cameras enormous amounts, just because of what was going on around you and where you'd placed your car. It looked really controlled though. Some of the Elantras were a bit slidey, back end drifting out, but that Veloster looked absolutely planted.
That's maybe generous, because it was a handful.
Right.
It was a measured handful. There you go.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the way I'd describe it. It's kind of controlled chaos, just about.
Yeah. That's kind of fun, though, isn't it? When it's like that, it's it's entertaining to drive. At least it's not dull.
Exactly. I mean, the most fun corner here is turn 1, because there's a massive curb there. And you just ignore it.
Oh, that curve! Oh, damn, crikey!
But you have to kind of... It's a bizarre corner, because you have to kind of pivot the car in a way almost that you're already going sideways as you go over the curb. So you're almost like throwing the car at it in such a way that the curb kind of sorts itself out. It's just very rewarding.
No, you're right. It's pretty unique in feel, isn't it? The way you actually go around that thing and the way you approach it.
And it's only really specific.
Like that.
It's only really pertinent to these cars because they're front-wheel drive and because you set them up in such a way that you just, blink in a direction and the car pivots that way. You do have to back the car into certain corners, so that even the slow stuff like the hairpin turn 2, not so much the one down the straight, but a few other corners, you're having to kind of pivot and lean on the back of the car around the corners, more so than at other tracks. And it means that sometimes you can get a bit of a weird run on people. Maybe it's a Veloster thing because it's quite short wheelbase compared to the Elantra, but it was just a lot of fun, a lot of good moves. A lot of people saying, "Oh, it's a bit hard to overtake." It isn't. It's not trying hard enough.
yeah. It's the pedal on the right, as Wobbly tells me, on many occasions. But you should be a very proud individual because all the cameras worked tonight. My button combination that we set worked.
Oh yeah, I was proud when I saw that message came up. I was like, he's done it.
Yeah. It's just brilliant stuff. Your technical support for me in particular, and therefore how good those broadcasts now look is phenomenal. So many thanks for that. And
no worries.
And now your turn. Who would you like to thank tonight for your 10th place and your 8th place?
Well, shout out to yourselves as always for everything that you do to make this kind of stuff that I have done actually work on screen. I may have created the buttons, but someone's still got to press them, so fair enough. And just a shout out to Carl actually, because he did a bloody great move on me in race 1.
Right. Is that the one round the outside?
Yeah.
It
was brilliant. He absolutely set me up, and I just completely fell for it. And when he parked, I was like, he's never going to get ring round the outside round there, and then he just did, and I was like, okay, fair enough, fair play. I can't really argue with that.
Yeah.
So I'll let him off causing a bloody skeletal injury in the second one for that, because they kind of balance out, I suppose. It was good fun racing with him as always. Even if he is obstinate and annoying and that kind of thing. But like I said last week, being annoying in this is actually one of the ways to play it. So I can't really complain if someone's being annoying to me if I'm annoying to others in other races. So fair enough.
Yeah. I'll bring you back to the Great Wall of Honda that we once had. I'm sure
those were the days. Those were the days. Those were the days where Simon would get a race start and literally understeer off the track because there was that little grip.
We've come a long way since then, to be fair. But yeah, great racing again. A good points haul. And yeah, hopefully you're looking forward to Silverstone. And you got probably Daytona this weekend as well. And I wish you all the best for that, unless you're in my split, which is highly unlikely, seeing as your I rating is so much higher than mine. Great stuff. Jamie Wilson, everybody.
Cheers, guys.
Good night, Jamie.
I will get rid of him eventually. There we go. Right, and finally into the booth, we have, if I can press the right button, that is.
Press the right button, Pete. Go on.
In her usual spot, Fiona Siddons. Good evening.
Good evening.
Evening, Pete.
Evening, Alan.
Find you on the chat there. You had quite a good battle with quite a lot of racers tonight. I was absolutely stunned. Finished the second race 40. What did we say? 45 seconds was it, Alan?
Yes,
45 seconds behind the leader, or behind the last car. I can't remember. But on lead lap. You and Andy Littler had a good old tussle throughout the race. There was a bit of bumping and bashing in there as well, which was good fun to watch. Tell us about your races.
Yeah, two good races. That second race, Andy was faster than me, but there's no way I was going to let him go easy. So he pitted early.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up, when we was in the waiting room, I apologised to the leaders for ignoring blue flags. Andy was struggling on fuel at the end, and I wanted to keep on the lead lap just in case he'd run out.
Ah, right, yeah. Okay, well, I'm sure they were all forgiving of that. We saw you working with the guys as they were coming past you and through, which was great to see. And you gave a few other cars a bit of a run for the money. You had Chris Needham rocking around you for both races, I think it was. you had Roger Morton there, who was much delayed. He was tussling with you. But you must have had a good night's racing with Andy, because he was around and about where you were for both races.
Yeah, it's always fun racing with Andy. He's always fair, and we're on about roughly the same pace. One week he'll be faster than me, the next I'll be faster than him, and we'll have a good fun.
Yeah, it balances out nicely, don't it? It is nice. You are very close in pace, and it's good because you can egg each other on, and it's exciting, and you have company on the track.
Yeah,
that's,
definitely.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Both of you.
Yeah, and are you doing the Raw at the weekend, or have you got to take care of your mum?
No, I'm not going to my mum's because I'm still not recovered from last week.
Oh.
I had a real bad dose of the flu, and still got all bunged up and just feel drained, and been sleeping most of today, ready for tonight.
Oh, right. Well, we appreciate it.
I might do the Raw in the Aston Martin.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that'd be a different drive for you, that's for certain. No, that's good stuff. And then next week at this same time slot, it's Silverstone Legacy Track. It's probably been a while since you raced there, so a bit of practice needed, maybe.
Yeah, I've not raced on the Legacy Silverstone probably 2.5 years now.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting visit for a lot of people. It certainly mixes it up for even like the fast guys, because they won't often go there. It might be a great leveler, so let's see what happens with that. Anybody you want to have a shout out to before we let you go, and maybe find yourself some cough syrup or whatever else is helping you at the minute?
Yeah, as always, you guys for the great commentary and people in the background making the league happen. Everybody who gives up the time to watch, 28 idiots tonight belting around the virtual track.
Yeah.
And everybody in result.
Awesome stuff. In that case, wish you best of the luck at the Raw. If you do get to do it, I hope you recover from the nasty flu/cough or whatever's going on. And we'll see you this time next week for Silverstone Legacy Track. Fiona Siddons, everybody.
Yeah, goodbye, everybody.
Good night, Pete.
Right then, Alan.
Ooh, crikey.
I know. It's that time.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, it's not so easy this week, Pete. We haven't got like clear streak away people like we had last week.
No, I mean, even if you look at, let me go back to where I was a minute ago. I was here. If you look at JB, he had a 15th in the first race, which gave him the pole for the second, and he did a brilliant job in the second, I have to say. He stayed out front for a good amount of time. He was very calm and collected when the Superfast arrived, and he kept them at bay as long as he could. So there could be a vote there. Tony Walker did very well again in... Was it both races? Well, he came out top AM driver in both races. No, he didn't. He came second to JB, didn't he, in the second race?
Yeah.
Top in the first race. I'm trying to think if there was anybody that absolutely wowed me. Stephen Walker did a great race one, and
Stephen did a great job.
Yeah, he was up.
Spencer drove well.
He did. Miguel Freitas was the most successful of all the races, and did some really very clever racing in that second one. After getting damage, I mean, some people it overfaces them, doesn't it, and they can't compete. But he's not got that in his genetics. He has to race. I'm trying to think who.
It's a tough one for you, my dear. It is.
Yeah.
There's certainly it's not that we've got worthy people. You know, we've got more than one worthy people. We've got a handful of worthy people.
Yeah.
And that always makes it hard.
It does. I think my vote's going to have to go to Spencer McCarthy for some of his overtakes tonight, because they were exceptional. He did some masterful car control. He's not raced for ages as well, so really he's still coming back into it. He only rebuilt his rig a couple of weeks ago, so I think my vote's going to go Spencer McCarthy's way tonight. On entertainment value alone, I think that was such good fun and such a laugh to watch, in all the right ways, of course. But yeah, Spencer McCarthy for me.
Yeah, I think that's very nice, and it is great to see Spencer driving so well. And of course, I think JB deserves a really special mention. I think it was a fantastic drive that he did in that second race, and he held them off for ages and ages. But for me, my outstanding drive was Miguel. Yet again, he pulled off something what I think is amazing. He's just a fantastic driver. He impresses me every time he gets behind the wheel. And yet again, another just goes in the pits at a ridiculous early part of the race and then just drives the wheels off his car. And at the end of the race, he's in bloody front. I don't know how he does it, but it's just amazing.
It's bonkers, isn't it? And Craig, has he given me one? Oh, right. So Craig has voted in JB for his drive.
Yes,
so
good.
Nice work.
Good, that's perfect.
That's
perfect. Because I think JB deserved one, to be honest, but it's just his result wasn't great in the first race, and Miguel's just pulled off another super performance. But JB, I think, deserves that recognition. That's great. I'm happy for that.
Yeah, for those wondering where Craig went, his headset crashed out on him, so he had to leave the broadcast. But I do hope he rejoins us at some point in the future. It's always brilliant having other people in the booth to talk through the.
It's lovely having a guest, isn't it? It's nice having a guest.
It's nice. Yeah. So,
well, we're all part of the same family, Pete. We're sim racers, and we are part of the same family. And the fact is, we're disparate. I've got friends, that actually never meet in the middle.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do, but sometimes they don't. It's an awful lot of sim racing goes on.
Yep. And sim racing broadcasts, commentary, it's what this community and we are all about, and long may it continue. But tonight it was Miguel Freitas that was probably the most successful of all the races, with a second place and a first place. And I'm looking forward to the next time we come to Hockenheim, to be honest. I know it wasn't to some people's tastes, but I quite liked it.
We like to see them 5 wide, don't we?
We do, right, we do. That was just brilliant. Hopefully I don't experience that if I try the Raw at the weekend. And this time next week we'll be at Silverstone Legacy, as we've mentioned a few times. So I'm going to bring this broadcast to a close. I'll thank everybody who watched and contributed on the chat. Russell Cowell is busy voting for Stephen Walker for driver of the meeting, even though he wasn't in the booth. Everybody who watched, obviously to Alan and very much to Craig. Great to have him here and around in order to broadcast with us. And hopefully he'll return, like I said. It's always good to have 2 sensible people in the booth, isn't it? Instead of just me talking nonsense and idiocy. I hope everybody stays safe, stays away from all the germs and nasties that's going on, and has a wonderful time over the weekend, and we'll see you next week. I'll hand you over to Alan. Good night, everybody.
It's been a spectacular night's racing, folks. We've seen some incredible driving by these chaps tonight, haven't we? My word, it does make you want to be out there with them, because it wouldn't last 5 minutes. I'd be mincemeat, but my word, they drive the wheels off the car and you just want to join in. Fantastic. Looking forward to next week. No end already. And we'll see you there. Night, night.